up, y'all? I'm an idiot. What up, y'all? It's the R9cast, your official blind edition con Christian super dope show for Reservoir9.com, representing allgame.com. I am Untangling Wires. I am Stephen D. Gibson, aka SG, aka Electron Bandit. I did it. I'm gonna guzzle a bunch of coffee real quick, cause I want energy. I want to be hyped. Why, you ask? Mainly because I mean, y'all know, y'all know what happened. What happened on the 16th? Was it the 16th? Something like that. Sony was like, yeah, we gonna show some stuff, and then yeah, it was like, it was like a big boom crash, boom bash crash. Okay, I'm trying to. I should really change the resolution on these screens, but my card is not strong enough. Everybody's talking about MC Brains. Remember that song? Wow, that was a bad song, but for some reason I like the hook. Everybody's talking about MC Brains. MC Brains. That's a funny ass name. One more thing. If you want to be down, if you want to come around, be a part of the discussion conversation, then come around. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, good. Okay, my brain will work. Don't you worry. Don't you worry about a thing. I gotta do my things on the things. Let me see if to R9cast. Wait. Oh, what happened? What happened? There's one of those. It's going to be the unofficial Chum Buds Discord. No. I'm sorry. I'm reading. I'm sorry. Still reading. Sony PlayStation 5. Who put that in there? Oh. And Derek H is, they split it, so you have to get both. You need oh, whatever. All right, oops. You know, my microphone just like passed out. He said, "Oh, I'm done with your abuse." I'm forgetting the whatever. Anyway, so bam, mo flacas. Mo flaca. Check me out, baby. Check me out. Okay, that's the wrong thing. It's the wrong title. I don't know why I didn't update the title. That's fine. And I just did Twitch. I'm not doing Facebook. So I'll go on my Discord. No, I can't find this in Retro Butter. I'm trying to get a hold of GZ. I haven't seen it. Yeah, GZ. I haven't seen GZ either. GZ has been gone. I do see Opti. Yeah, sorry. All right, I'ma get it. ATGB. I don't know why I should just copy and paste, but whatever. And then we will talk about all the good stuff. All right, good. We're done with all these dang clickety clackety and blickety blacks. I didn't mean to say it like that. It sounded weird. It sounded rude. Blickety blacks. Come on, son. All right, good enough. So I'm in my R9cast Discord if anybody wants to pop it. Yo, Opti, what's poppin'? Opti says, was that the best video game showing or what? Question mark. Exclamation mark. Point. Exclamation kinky. Was it the best? The show itself was cool. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it a buck. No capping. It was a Sony show. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's what Sony does. You know, I would say that stop the music. Stop it. I would say that it was better. Not better. I mean, better than their live kind of E3 stuff when they have the people hanging from the ceiling and it's like, hey, look at this live orchestra, and I'm like, all right, that's cool, but you know, I mean, this is about games, right? Don't try to dress it up. Don't try to dress up the old jalopy and like put some wax on it, and then you open up the hood and there's some rabbits living in there. You know what I mean? Come on, son. So you know they look, Sneaky Cerny, Lion Ryan. They all got names now. They're like a crew. They like the Suicide Squad of video games. It's just a whole bunch of evil CEOs, except for Yoshida and everybody else who's not there anymore. They were the good guys. And now it's a whole bunch of freaking crazy people over there. Okay. Obviously says Xbox has yet to have a show anywhere near that Sony show. All the Xbox shows this gen has been lackluster as fudge. Final Fantasy 16 console exclusive. How did that happen? Well, first of all, it's probably timed. Once again, Sneaky Cerny, Lion Ryan. You always gotta now that the veil has been lifted on actually how Sony is. Now, I've known this for years because I'm not a fanboy. I'm not a pony. So I look at Sony as a company who wants to make money, first and foremost. Of course, that's Microsoft, that's Apple, blah, blah, blah. But that being said, that doesn't mean you have to be a dick. That doesn't mean you have to be like, it's all about money. But we're going to say whatever we need to say in order to get on the good side of people, even though it might not be true. You know, we're going to say what they want to hear, and then maybe we'll slide it in, you know, real quick, and just put it over there. You know, they're not going to pay attention to that. They're just going to be pre-ordering in there. And then people like, wait, what is this? After the show? Remember the after show? Remember that circus? Trump should be running Sony because it's literally the same thing. Trump, you know, not Cerny, Ryan, I would say United States, PlayStation, same thing. Everything's on fire. I mean, the PlayStation 5 is going to be on fire because it's so hot, so big and so hot. Usually when you be like, yo, it's the biggest, that's a good thing. But when we talk about consoles, not a good thing. Sony has messed up. Sony has done a series of calculated missteps. I'll say it that way. And it's like a domino effect, right? I think their first mistake was trying to get a console out first. Now, what they tried to do was, we're gonna get to the actual show, but what they tried to do was they tried to pull an Xbox 360. Xbox 360 jumped the gun on the generation a full year before the PlayStation 3, and it destroyed them. It was, and then Sony came out with a box that was just like, what is $800, $700, $600? Really, Sony? Are you out your minds? I mean, it cost them $800 and some dollars to make, so they were clearly out of their minds, right? But they just, you know, so they're like, all right, we're gonna learn from our mistakes. We're gonna learn from the past. We're gonna do, and that was their plan. Sony was trying to launch in 2019 with the PlayStation 5. Man, I wish they would have done that. I wish they would have done that, because if Sony would have came out with a PlayStation 5 in 2019, and so you have a full year of PlayStation 5. Oh man, this is so good, right? And then the Xbox Series X comes out, super powerful. Man, Sony would have been so much in trouble. They would have had a lead, but honestly, they would have been like Nintendo. They would have been in their own little offshoot of reality, offshoot of generation. Anyway, sorry, I got the little. So Final Fantasy 16. Honestly, I think more people are hyped on that second part of Final Fantasy 7 for real, for real. Even I'm looking at Final Fantasy 7 remake, and I'm like, that looks way better than Final Fantasy 16. I'm sorry, the character designs of Final Fantasy 7 way better than those things that they had in Final Fantasy 16. Now that's just art, character design, but still don't like it. It's like they're a little generic, little Japanese generic. They're like anime, but you know when anime try to draw Americans, that's what it feel like. It's like that's what I'm like. No. Everybody got the same face except different hair. Anyway, we're not here to make fun of Final Fantasy 16. That's not my jam anyway. So whatever. Some people like it, but I think that's still gonna be a timed exclusive. It's not gonna be exclusive. And also, it's gonna be on PC. They showed the PC version. Remember when ponies were like, yo, check it out. I don't need to buy an Xbox because I got a PC. I can play all those exclusives on PC. Remember that? The title of this show is actually Karma is a female dog. Didn't go into the thing, but that's fine. Karma is a female dog. Why? Because exactly what y'all, not y'all, when I say y'all, I mean the ponies. Exactly when what the ponies were talking about, I don't need to buy Xbox. Why I need to buy Xbox? Sony came out, sneakily tried to sneak it by y'all, and it's the same thing. They got one game. No, wait. It's still quite like you said, the Demon Souls remake. It looks better, but it's a 10-year-old game, son. I mean, is this the remake station? Where are all the new games? Where are all the PlayStation 5 exclusives? That's the whole premise. The whole thing about PlayStation has been exclusives. They just cannibalized their own market because Spider-Man, PS4. God of War 2, I will assume, since it's coming out next year, PS4. Horizon Forbidden West, PS4. Like, what are they doing? Because, and they literally lied. They just like, yeah, we talking about, yeah, we only these games gonna be on PS5, son. They're like, oh man, I gotta buy PS5. That's messed up. Okay, and all these ponies were like, yeah, the PS5's gonna be dope because you can't play Miles Morales on your PS4, your whack ass PS4. Oops. Yo, Sony slapped all their fan base, all 112.5 million of them, in the like, all the super ponies and all the super fanboys. They feel real defeated now. I've been listening to some podcasts on YouTube. Man, these hardcore ponies like, yeah, Xbox is whack. What you gonna play these old games for? You gonna have next gen exclusives on the PlayStation 5? And then this happened. Lane Ryan came out and told everybody the truth, and they're like, man, there's so many sad ponies. I mean, what is the name for a sad pony? I don't know, but there's a lot of them out there right now. They're kicking rocks. Some of them are still in denial. They're like, oh, no. Look, I'm so happy that I could just buy a regular ass PS4 and play all these exclusives. I don't have to spend $500 on a PlayStation 5. and another thing, right? The Xbox One, the Series X, supposed to hold back the Series X, right? Same thing for the PlayStation 5. And the worst part of it is that Jim Ryan said they're going to support the PS4 for 3 to 4 years. Xbox said 1 to 2 years. PlayStation doubled it. Yo, it's so crazy. I'm sorry, let me get to the chat. Demon Souls is cool, but like that's not one of my jams either. You know, I'm not into FromSoft stuff. I tried the Otogi, but I was like, this is crazy. I kind of knew it would be under $4.99, but $3.99 is pretty sweet. What's a better value, $2.99 480p Series S or $3.99 4K PS5? Excuse me. Are you kidding me right now? What are they doing? They want to make the dollar. Sony no charity. Okay. So the price, we can get to the prices real quick. The better value is the cheaper console because we're talking about, well, the better value is Xbox, period. No matter which one you buy because of Game Pass. The better value is doing that payment plan, which I'm like, man, I don't want to mess up anything credit wise. So I'm like, I'm gonna just save up my pennies and get the box. I already got Game Pass, so I don't need it. But if I didn't have any console, I didn't have a PlayStation, I needed to get a new next gen console, PlayStation or Xbox, right? Not a Switch, because whatever. I mean, think about the parents, right? Anecdotally, I've heard so many people talk about, yo, this is a crazy value. Game Pass is already a good value, but plus with this payment plan, what's gonna happen? I think this year, the guys who got PS5s, whether it's the big one or the small one, they're gonna get the $299 Xbox anyway because it's so cheap. It's like I might as well get the exclusives on Xbox. I mean, what Game Pass is free if you do the payment plan. That's what I heard. People are gonna get the PlayStation 5 and do the payment plan Xbox. Probably the Series X. Well, it depends, whoever. But that's the crazy deal, and that is the best strategy that I've seen in a long time because it's like, okay, instead of going head to head, being like, yeah, ours is better and trying to, just win the fans, make your product be like, yo, and I'm going to get that too. It's like, okay, I'm going to get that because I'm a fan, and I'm going to get that because this is a good deal. I can't pass it up. I would be the stupidest person if I didn't get that. And that's what they're doing. All TVs being sold in stores right now is 4K. You're telling me people are going to buy a console that can't even do 4K? Yes, because this is why. I think the penetration is about 30%, maybe, right? Which is okay. I got a 4K HDR, but here's the thing. I'm gonna get an S. I'm getting the Series S first, right? Here's my methodology. Here's my thought process in this whole generation coming forward, right? So we know what these first round of consoles are gonna be. You got PS5. Boom, that. I'm not even gonna distinguish the different PS5s because it's basically the same thing except one without a disc drive. So you got PS5 and you got Xbox Series S and Series X. Now I have to distinguish those because they are basically not different architectures, but they're different kind of power levels. But they're still the same architecture, but one's cheaper, whatever. I'm getting the Series S because it's cheaper, A, and 2. I'm going to use it as a streaming box in the studio. So when I stream and play games, I'm going to just play it off of there. So I don't need it to be 4K because I can't stream out in 4K anyway, So it doesn't make sense to get an Xbox Series X to stream out, right? Here's why I'm getting that, right? And the 4K is not a big deal. I'm going to tell you why in a second. The reason why I'm getting the $299 Series S first is because if you look at, you have to pay attention to what's happening in the PC scene, the graphics cards, particularly AMD, right? AMD is about to drop Ryzen 3, all right? These consoles are Ryzen 2, and, the Ryzen 3 has been, Ryzen 3 is about to come around. Like right now, they're about to drop the Ryzen 2 graphics cards, but like next year and the year after, Ryzen 3 is coming. So by the time Ryzen 3 comes around, guess what? I'm going to guarantee you this. Guess what? Xbox is going to have a new console. It's going to be a mid-gen refresh, but it's actually kind of going to be next-gen because the jump between Ryzen 2 and Ryzen 3 is ridiculous. It's like a next-gen. It's like from Jaguar to Ryzen or... wow, I just totally forgot what it's called. RDNA. It's going to be like a similar jump as far as efficiency. It's like I think it's 50%. I think it's 50%. They usually do a 50% efficiency, and so it's like, oh, okay. So if I just get a Series S and chillax for a little bit, I mean, maybe I'll get an X. Who knows? But that's not my plan because of how they do these refreshes, right? So I'm like, okay, we'll do that. And then when the RDNA 3 joint come out, then I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna get the big one right there. Because I'm not going to get a Series X and then 2 years later, oh, here's a new one. Like what happened this year. I've had my 1X for about 2 years. And it was been 3 years on the market. And so once the RDNA 3 comes out, I don't know how compatible RDNA 3 would be with 2. Maybe they are kind of compatible, so they can still have the cheaper line. So that'd be cool. I don't know. But we'll see. But the reason why 4K doesn't matter, one, the penetration isn't that big, and two, the Xbox Series S outputs at 4K. It doesn't render natively at 4K. Think about it this way. The Xbox Series S is greater than and equal to, in some points, as the PlayStation 4 Pro. PlayStation 4 Pro does not output at 4K, usually. It has, I think, one game that I know, Mantis Racing, whatever, it's some indie game. Besides that, everything else is like 1080p, 1440p, 1800p if you're lucky and the moon is full. You know what I mean? So, same difference. But here's the difference is that the actual upscaling in this generation is way better than checkerboard rendering. It's way better. I saw it and I was like, hold up. That's 1080p? And they had 1080p, 4K next to each other. I was looking at it. I was like, I just can't. I couldn't tell a difference. And so there is a difference. If you go zoom in 200% and you be like, okay, here's the pixel and this one's jaggedy and this one's not as yes, of course. But for the layman or for the regular person who's not a foot and a half from their 65-inch screen, you're not gonna tell a difference. And it's not like, oh, if you're 10 feet away, but no. I'm talking about if you're like super close. I mean, no, it's still good enough. And that's what I said last gen. Or this gen, end of this gen. I said the PlayStation 4 Pro is good enough. They were kind of sneaky. They put 4K on the box, but it wasn't really a 4K. I mean, it can output a 4K signal, and that's what the Series S is. Except the Series S is way more powerful than the PlayStation 4 Pro. Graphically, way more powerful than the PlayStation 4 Pro. CPU-wise, destroys the PlayStation, destroys the Xbox, destroys it at least twice as powerful, CPU-wise. So it's like, it's a no-brainer. I'm like, okay, I have an X, but the Series S is still more powerful than the X for the One X. And so I'm like, $299, that's like a Switch or Xbox Series. Nah, I get the Xbox. Switch, they can kick rocks over there. Nintendo be playing. Yo, that whole Mario 3D All-Star, whatever the hell that game, man, I saw that. I was like, y'all, okay, yeah. I was like, Bonds, how are you? How are you? Hope you're doing good and stuff and being safe and stuff. So, Lion Ryan came out. I mean, the whole... Okay, they started off with Final Fantasy 16. And they're like, and the first thing that comes up, this game's running on a PC that's equivalent to the PlayStation 5 experience. And I'm like, I didn't even see that. Like, I didn't see it live. I missed that first part, but I saw it like in the replay. And I was like, are you serious? Do they see? I don't know. Do they not see what Microsoft does, right? And then do they not see the reaction from the public? And then do they not register in their brains, oh, that's a bad idea, maybe we shouldn't do that? And then like, let's be honest. Y'all should have kept lying, because Lion Ryan, that's what you do. Lion Ryan, I'm so sad. I'm not sad, I'm mad, because I was gonna do a rapidy rhyme about Lion Ryan, but I can't do it now because somebody already did it. So it's going to be Jim Lion Ryan. He'd be like a wrestler or something. I don't know. But I was like, okay, they literally did the exact thing that everybody was mad about that Xbox did. So, okay. They want to do it too, okay. And then they said, from now on, these are PlayStation 5. It's like, yeah, okay. I'll believe it when I see it. A lot of that stuff is dev kit stuff, and they can say it's PlayStation 5. I don't know, man. And they still haven't shown a freaking. Oh no, there was a picture. I forgot. Was it Famitsu? I think it was Famitsu where they had the measurements of the actual console. I'm like, it's in centimeters. This is useless to me. This is useless to me. I can't. And also, there's so much. Okay, so the prices. Opti, Pace, check it. Prices are $399, $499 for PlayStation in America, and a few other places. Here's the problem. The prices are not the same across the world. Meaning, they're not the equivalent of $399, $499. So, I believe in, where was it? Australia, Germany? There are other places, I should look it up, where the price of the PlayStation 5 is actually more than the price of the Xbox Series X. Xbox Series X is $499 and equivalent across the board, across the world. The PlayStation is like $540 in some places, $530 in other places. I'm like, yo, how come a lot of more people aren't talking about the fact that Sony hiked up the prices and they added $10 for their games? I'm like, are y'all serious? Like, if Xbox did that, yo, your pitchforks would be out, and yeah, it'd be like a Trump clan rally. Sorry. Bond says he saw the Sony. I saw the Sony show. What'd you think about the Sony show? Was it spectacular? Did you like the Fortnite news? How come they didn't show Bug Snacks again? Bug Snacks remake. They need to remake it. It's not even out yet. They need to remake it already. Yo, if Bug Snacks had ray tracing, it'd be hot. Okay, so here's another thing. They're doing software ray tracing on the PlayStation 5. Now, here's another thing. There's software ray tracing on current gen consoles already because Crysis Remastered does software ray tracing for the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. So, the PlayStation 5 ain't really that special or powerful. I mean, we know that already, but I'm like, all these little things, all these little kind of details coming out, it's like, oh, that makes this PlayStation 5 whack. It makes it less than. Like, oh, not as appealing. But the coup de grace, coup d'etat, the blah de blah, was the cross-gen news. I mean, I didn't even talk about the backwards compatible news. They're like, yeah, I mean, Jim Ryan literally said, yeah, no backwards compatible for PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. Only 4, and not all of it. Most of 99%, maybe. Hopefully they work. They don't even know. They're gonna maybe touch 100 of the best games. Everything else, y'all can kick rocks. I'm like, yo. If I was a fan, I would feel like the Dreamcast is about to get canceled. You know what I'm saying? Bond says neither console will be bought by me unless one sell below $279.99. $279. Why is that? That's a very specific price. I mean, the Series S is $299. That's close. That's close, son. That's close. I'm getting me a Series S. I'm getting it. I'm going to slap it right down there. Slap it. And I'm going to play all the stuff right down there. Blink. And I'm going to be good. My robot white controller. That's going to be, that's good. I'm not even going to pre-order it. So I know I'm going to get the Series S, but I'm not like, oh, I got to get the Series S so I can pre-order. Nah. I'm going to actually write Microsoft a little note because they're releasing the consoles on my birthday. And I'm like, that's the best thing ever. And it's like the consoles are so good. All the news is pretty much, except for Halo being delayed. But I'm like, that's good too because, you know, it'll be better. Better be better. That's the part where throw your head back and laugh. Ha ha ha. There's no games on the Series SX. No need to pre-order. No one is going to have problem pre-ordering one this Tuesday. Let my ass off. And that's another thing, the whole pre-order fiasco. Now, I don't know what the thinking behind how they did it But it definitely backfired because Sony's like, oh, we're gonna cause pandemonium and chaos, and everybody's gonna be running around, and then it's gonna make the headline news, and everybody's gonna be like, oh man, everybody's running around for the PlayStation 5, and nobody can get it because it's sold out, right? That's what they thought was gonna happen. Instead, everybody's like, yo, what the F? Sony, what are you doing? We hate you now. And that's compounded with, oh yeah, we lied about the we believe in generations. Yeah, that was a lie. And also cross-gen, everything's cross-gen except for Demon Souls, but it's a remake, so we're gonna make you buy that for $70. I'm like, yo, everything you are saying right now, Jim Ryan and Sony, don't say that. Don't do that. Don't say that. Don't say something else. Preferably don't lie, but don't say that, okay? Because it's bad. You're doing bad things. Bond says, I did see that email from Microsoft informing me the Game Pass will be $9.99. Oh yeah, that's PC. They're upping it because at first it was like $4.99 for like the intro. Hey, what's up, Legend? Happy upcoming birthday. I mean, that's like, yeah, in November, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Stay safe. And I love all the meats. That's a thing in Instagram. I like your Instagram meats. That didn't sound right, but I do like it. It makes, I'm like, my mouth is watering right now because I'm thinking about the grill. I'm like, because I haven't had red meat in a long time. Kaijudo says, what's up, Kaijudo? Thanks for showing up. I appreciate. Sorry, that noise is Bridget opening the doors in the house. You did all the Sony trolling just so Microsoft can release their console on your birthday. Yes. I said, listen, Microsoft, you know what time it is? And they're like, yeah, we know what time it is, and we also know the date. I mean, that's what I meant. And yeah, that's what happened. Honestly, I was gonna be like, yo, can I give me I just want a Series S. Honestly, you don't even have to give me the big boy. Just give me that little cheap one. But honestly, I'm like, you don't even have to do that because I'm not looking for handouts. I feel better when I buy my own stuff. You know what I mean? I don't feel like handouts feel kind of weird to me. That's why, I mean, I'm looking into like putting up a Ko-Fi or Coffee, if you want to, page just to have one. You know, I was thinking about Patreon, but I'll start with Ko-Fi. Coffee, sorry. Because I feel funny getting money for having fun, you know? But, you know, whatever. So, my brain I just lost things in my brain. I ain't got a pre-order yet. I do want one. No emails from Sony as of yet. Oh, word? Oh, did you get caught up in all of that? And all of that craziness? That was, yeah, man. That pre-order fiasco. I mean, everybody, I don't hear anybody who said, oh, yeah, that was a good look. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying, oh, I like the fact that Sony lied to us and everything's going to be cross-gen for the most part. Horizon Forbidden West. Me, as an X-boy, right? Xbox fan. I'm like, yo, Horizon, that's got to be dope, yo. On PlayStation 5 exclusives, that's going to be a good game. Now it's cross-gen. It's a PlayStation 4 game. And I'm like, oh, snap. It kind of diminishes it a little bit. Like, right? And I'm thinking, like, I could get me a riggedy-raggedy old PlayStation 4. You know they trying to get rid of them now because they got to get a little bit extra change to get that PS5, right? So I'm like, give me a PS4 for like $50 or something. Give me that. Boom. You know what? I want the first PlayStation 4. I don't want the Pro. I don't want the Slim. I want the sharp one, son. I like the way that one looks. So I get that. I don't care if it sounds like a choo-choo train, a jet engine. I don't care. I still get it just to play Horizon Forbidden West exclusives. Although I do hate the controller, so it's probably going to run like on a PlayStation 4. True, but hey, they have to make it work. It's cross-gen. So it'll be like 1080p. Or maybe less. It might be 900p, depending on what they try to do on the game, actually, as far as design-wise. So, blah, 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 blah. Oh, what's up, YT Firearms? Blah, 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 blah. Oh, forget it. It's freaking stupid. I'm sorry. I'm missing some stuff here. Oh, Opti says, "Cause you're able to pre-order PS5." Opti says, "I pre-ordered not one but two PS5 discs version." Oh, nice! You got the discs. That's dope. Kajira says the people that complain about rebuying games are probably the same nerds that always rebuy old Nintendo games. I mean, some people are collectors. I used to be a collector, and I still have all my stuff, but I'm not a collector anymore. I don't think I am. Let me put this screen on better screen. There we go. Look at that beautiful little box right there, a little speaker box, turntable, baby. Bond says PC Game Pass $4.99. However, it will be $9.99 next month. Yeah, I mean that's still that's the same as the console. It's the same price. So, except they launched it on console first, and then they did a PC version, and it was an introductory $5.99 price, $4.99 price, and then they upped it when they're going. I guess they're going all the way with it. But it's better to get Ultimate anyway because you get console, you get PC, and you get the streaming, Xbox streaming, whatever it's called, Game Pass streaming. I think that's what it's called. No, Game Pass cloud streaming. I think that's what it's called. It doesn't matter what it's called. Get xCloud. So it's better to pay the $15. And honestly, even if you pay $15, that's what was that, $180 a year. You break it down into games. That's 3 games. If you're gonna buy 3 full games, as far as console wise, it might be even less because maybe the prices will go up. I don't know. It's still worth it. If you play through 3 games, then it pays for itself. And I've already paid for mine, and I still have it for 2 years now. Still have 2 more years of Game Pass Ultimate, and I've already paid for it. Like a year ago, it was paid for. I mean, as far as me playing the games and what it was worth. Kaju says, I'm not talking collectors. I'm talking about gamers that love to rebuy the same games. Oh, yeah. That's that Nintendo stuff too, man. See, that's Nintendo and Sony, right? So, is that a Japanese thing? Am I missing something? I don't know. Because it seems to be a business strategy, right? Getting people to rebuy same as games, right? I mean, Nintendo is the worst. They're just like, yeah, here's an emulated hot garbage $60. I'm like, what? And everybody's complaining, and they said, yeah, this sucks, and I'm going to buy it. I'm like, smack, what are you doing? Just go emulate it, go steal it, because they're robbing you blind. I'm like, that's messed up. That's why they went and attacked all these emulators so they could do it themselves and sell it for $60. Are you out of your mind? Come on, son, $60 for stupid ass freaking Mario Sunshine out there, man. Opti says, SG, the PS Plus collection has better games than all the games on Game Pass. Okay, that's not true. You know that's not true. The PS Plus collection is a feeble attempt to try to have... Okay, here's the funny thing about PS Plus collection. How come they didn't say anything about PS Now? I mean, PS Now is literally almost the exact same thing what Game Pass is, except they sucked and blew it. And it's not as good. And they don't have as many subs. Legend says, I got to believe that the special triggers, which add special feeling to the trigger pulls, are designed to run on Horizon. They won't have that on PS4 version. You know what that is? That's just... it's an added sensation for sure, but it's like a rumble. I mean, they can emulate it in a different way, like a rumble trick. You know how like they do it already in games where you pull it back. I think it's on Rise of the Tomb Raider where you pull it back and it just rumbles, running, and the rumble getting harder, and then so yeah, that's nothing. That's anything that the controller, anything that the PlayStation, the DualShock 4 can do, will be fine for the cross-gen kind of, like, they can't, first of all, they can't build anything in a PS5 version that can't work on the PS4 version unless it's specific for the controller itself. And then, I mean, yes, they're 2 different, builds. They're 2 different builds. You got a PlayStation 4 version, you got a PlayStation 5 version, right? But ultimately, they're the same foundation. They're just like, oh, this one has ray tracing. This one has ray trace reflections. This one has higher resolution. This one has higher frame rates. This one, lower everything, lower resolution, blah, blah, blah. And no rumble trigger or whatever kind of trigger stuff. But yeah, that's nothing. That's just a specialized controller thing. That's not gonna have any effect on the actual gameplay itself. So it's not a big deal. Sorry, Kajia says it's not Japanese thing. It's just crazy fanboys and girls. Oh, okay. The Series X and S controller has me feeling meh. Have you seen the games on PS Plus? Yes, I've seen all of the old ass games on the PlayStation Plus collection. Okay, it's all the old games. Uncharted, Spider-Man, God of War. Yes, all the old games. No new games. It's like I'm buying a PS5 to play all the old games. No, not gonna. No. I'd rather buy a used PS4 and then buy a Horizon. And then the cool thing about my plan is that I can get a used, busted ass, riggedy raggedy PlayStation 4 for $20. Get me Horizon Forbidden West. That's it. I don't have to get PlayStation Plus. I don't need it. I don't need PlayStation Now. Cause why? Cause single player game. Isn't it beautiful that the thing that Sony is like, yeah, we're known for single player story games. It makes it better for me, who's like, I'm not buying into PlayStation Plus. I don't need that. I don't need it now. Bye. I just need the game. So in that respect, Sony's doing it right for me. It's not rumble. It actually adds resistance to the pull. No, I understand. I understand what the not haptic feedback. I totally forgot what they call those triggers. But yeah, I know. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that they can change, instead of having the resistance different, they'll just add rumble to it to emulate the same effect. It won't be the same effect, but it's just, indication that something's happening. You know what I mean? So it's not going to affect gameplay. That's the point, because it's adaptive triggers. Thank you. Pace. And wow, I just had the adaptive triggers and the words in my brain just don't come out. Sorry, but the rumble equivalent in the dual sense, they are basically miniature rumble motors, except they're implanted. They're on the actual PCB, and so they can put more, and so you can have more localized vibration. So it's similar to the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons use the same thing. The haptic feedback, that's what it is. So those haptic rumble sensor things, they're super small miniature rumble motors that are just mounted directly onto the PCB. So it's like, so you can add more, and so like I said, you can have different zones. So and have it wave around and stuff. So it's a cooler effect, I think, but I don't think it's gonna be as strong as traditional rumble triggers because they're smaller. I mean, it's the same things that are in phones. It's the same technology. So I really don't think it's kind of cool, but I don't think it's that controller is not gonna be a big. Like a deciding factor, honestly. If you think about like, oh, okay, we got why would you get a PlayStation over an Xbox if you're gonna play like Call of Duty, right? I mean, you'd probably do it on PC, but if you want if you want the highest resolution and or the highest frame rate, then Xbox Series X all day, baby. And maybe the PlayStation 5 can match it frame rate wise, but not resolution. Not frame rate and resolution. They'll never do it. They can't do it. They don't have the power. They can't do it unless Activision pulls some bullshit and just mess up the Xbox version of the game. That happens. I mean, Capcom is delaying the ray tracing on Devil May Cry 5 or whatever, and it's going to be in the PlayStation 5 version, but that I don't know if that's actually hardware ray tracing. It's just so many little caveats and like hidden messages and secrets and lies on the Sony side, and I'm like, yo, if I was a freaking fan, I would be highly upset right now. Kaiju says PS5 got people going crazy on Twitter. I don't think that. I mean, the PlayStation 5 controller is definitely better than the DualShock 4, but they need to offset those freaking sticks. I don't understand. I mean, I understand why they're doing it because it's a Japanese feng shui balance and all that stuff thing. But honestly, I mean, if Nintendo does off-centered sticks, and they're doing all right. So, and I've heard multiple times over the years, people do not like that the stick placement of the DualShocks. And a lot of people, they like, yo, I play my shooters on Xbox. And it's not because, for whatever, you like the controller, and they have a better online network. Now, I don't know how Sony's network is going to be going into this gen. I know they have the Wi-Fi 6 and stuff, and that's fine for in-your-house router if you have an actual router that supports Wi-Fi 6. But I've heard nothing about controller latency and image latency on the screen. So, honestly, there isn't a problem as far as Wi-Fi. See, that's the thing, right? Sony, they're like, oh, we have Wi-Fi 6 and the Xbox Series X has Wi-Fi 5. And I'm like, okay, real serious gamers that are playing online on console are hardwired in. They're hardwired. They're like, plug it in. I ain't got to worry about Wi-Fi. So you can be like, yeah, Wi-Fi 6. You could say that. But honestly, the real gamers, they're like, yeah, I'm plugging it in. So I don't care about Wi-Fi. I'm on Wi-Fi because I don't feel like running the cable. And it's in the next room. It's real close. I mean, I'll do it eventually, but I'm not worried about it right now. PS5 has faster USB ports and it has a USB-C. The only port that's faster is the USB-C. Everything else is pretty much the same. I think the Xbox has one. I know it has two USB-A's, 3.1s in the back, I believe. It just doesn't have the USB-C. But I'm thinking about, like, what would you use that USB-C on the front of the PlayStation for? I know what. PSVR. That's what it's for. I mean, that's what it's for. So if you thought you were going to get a wireless PlayStation PSVR, I don't think so. That's what that is for. It just says you can stick the little one in the big one, and it will allow you to play every game backwards. New PS5 has newer USB 3. It does? I don't know. I have to look that up. I don't know. I thought they were both the same. I thought that the only difference was that they had USB-C. But honestly, you're going to use that for like backup storage, mass storage stuff. You know, throw all your games on there, and then when you need to play whatever you need to play, throw it on a super hard drive, on a SSD. Excuse me. I was thinking about getting like a SSD. Oh, it has another thing that I didn't talk about or realize, whatever. They showed the back. Okay, so we still haven't really seen an actual PlayStation 5. Not really. I'm talking about the little box and the big Xbox. Yeah. Yeah, that little Xbox is cute as hell, man. And I do think the Xboxes look better than the PlayStation. PlayStation looks unique. Here's the problem with the PlayStation 5. Besides like everything else, except for the speed of the SSD. Oh, you did? Let me see. Oh, I am a little low. My bad. Hold on. Let me turn me up a little bit. My bad. Oh man, that's loud. Let me turn this up. My bad. There we go. I didn't know. My bad. Maybe I'm just not where I need to be. That's a little better. Okay. Thanks Bonds. I don't have actually I do have, but anyway. Totally forgot. Totally forgot what I was talking about. But yeah, I don't know about the USB stuff. But yeah, USB-C on the PlayStation 5, the front of the PlayStation 5 is going to be a PSVR, no doubt. Oh, let's talk about the size. The size of the PlayStation 5 makes it worse. It's not really the design. Design's okay. The design is okay, right? But the PlayStation 5 is the biggest console in modern history. So we can go back to the Nintendo Entertainment System. That's how far back we can go. Okay, what was it, 80 something? That's almost 40 years, 35 years. It's bigger. It's bigger than everything else. I mean, like a Panasonic 3 Gold Star 3DO or something. Maybe not. Actually, I don't know. It might be bigger than those. I don't know. We would have to. I'm sure there's going to be somebody who has all these retro consoles on big old stupid. Maybe the PSX, that old white one that was like a super big thing. Maybe it's not as big as that, but that's whatever. I'm just saying, the design is the size is ridiculous. It's too big and it's less powerful and it's not cheap enough based on its competition, which is smaller, more powerful, same price. It's like you're looking at these two things, it's like, oh, that's way big, can't fit in my house. This is, oh, that's all right. Same price, okay? Which one's more powerful? Boom. Which one can I play Call of Duty real good on? Boom. I already have a PlayStation 4. Do I need to buy this? No, you just play all the games for the most part on PlayStation 4. I'm going to predict that Demon Souls will be on PlayStation 4. Because think about it, right? Bluepoint did the port, right? I mean, they did the remake. And they also did Shadow of the Colossus. That was on PlayStation 4. Why couldn't Demon Souls be on PlayStation 4? It looked like the same engine to me because the games kind of share a little bit of DNA as far as graphics. You look at the graphics, like, oh yeah, that looks like a Bluepoint game. That's okay. The old school Xbox is a gang. Dang, it's huge. I know it is. Legend. And the PlayStation 5 is bigger than the old school Xbox. That's how big the PlayStation 5 is. Y'all don't know. Legend also says, but you're not going to get that resolution on the S. Oh yeah, I'm not worried about resolution on the S because I'm gonna be streaming off of it anyway, so I can only stream at 1080p. So I'm not worried about it. That's my streamy box until they come out with the next gen refreshes with Ryzen 3, the RDNA 3 stuff. Then I'm like, yep, let's go. Then 8K is gonna be regular, and then what else is gonna be regular? Everything. I need more coffee. Almost spilled it. Oh yeah, sweet and good. All right, so let me go through my a couple of things. Blink blooped. I had a couple of things. PlayStation 5. Sony apologizes for poorly managed pre-orders. You know you messed up when you have to apologize on the internet for something, right? You know you messed up. And you gotta for pre-orders. It's not even like, oh man, we messed up because of stuff. Or, oh, is this beyond our control? Y'all messed up so hard. Because it just says PS5 is big because it has so many games. Yeah. The problem with PS5 is that all those games you can play on PS4. So if you have a lot of people have PS4s, there's no reason to buy a PS5. There's no reason. And there was a slide that they put out last year where they were going to support the PlayStation 4 for 3 to 4 years. This was last year. So they knew this. Going into this year, going into all of these talks and these presentations and marketing and lying to it. They lied to us. And it was like just blatant. Like, yeah, we believe in generations. Yeah, PlayStation 5 exclusives. It's like, y'all lie. They straight up, oh man, it makes me angry as just a regular consumer. Like, yo, I mean, if they had a compelling argument, like me as an Xbox person, right? Someone who prefers Xbox. If their if their offering was compelling enough for me to go, I might give me a PlayStation 5. But now it's like, I could probably run the stuff on my PC that I got already, or I could just get a riggedy raggedy old PlayStation 4 for cheap. And I'm done. They messed up so hard. And people are just, they're ponies cheerleading for these people, for this company. I don't get it, man. I'm like, yo, they're not offering you nothing. They're like, oh yeah, God of War Ragnarok, that'll come next year. I'm like, wait. God of War is 2021? That's in 2021, right? So y'all expect that to be PlayStation 5 only? No. Remember what Lion Ryan said? He said 3 to 4 years. So my brain says, oh, any game that is exclusive to Sony in this 3 to 4 year period, going to be on PlayStation 4. Especially if it's almost ready to go. If it's coming out next year, that's like, that game is like, it's closing in on, is ready. And if they've been working on it for 3 or whatever years, there's no way it's PlayStation 5 game. It's impossible. Sorry. Even if it was written already, still, you got to do it. You got to make it, assets, you got to make acting, all the motion, stop motion, motion capture stuff. Legend said, wouldn't it be cheaper just to buy Series X then to buy the Series S and then upgrade later? Oh, here's the thing. Why I'm gonna do it that way, because Series S is cheaper, $299. I'm gonna get that, and then I'm gonna wait for them to actually do an upgrade to the Series X, basically giving a bigger, the best, the most powerful Xbox, which will happen when the RDNA 3 stuff comes out on the AMD side. So in 3 years or so, past launch, all that stuff's going to be rolling out on the PC side. And that's when, Xbox, they're kind of trying to synchronize with what the PC technology is so that they don't get left behind that bad. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening right now. But AMD is going so fast that, boom, RDNA 3 is almost ready. You saw the little thing like 2022, end of 2022, maybe. RDNA 3, I'm like, I might as well wait for the RDNA 3 consoles. You know what I'm saying? And even if it's just like a mid-gen refresh or whatever, still going to be way better than the Xbox Series X. So that's why I'm going to wait. And it would be cheap. Yes, it would be cheaper to buy Xbox Series X, but I don't need what the Series X is giving that bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, because I could hang on to my Xbox One X for another 3-4 years. You know what I mean? Until they just stop making games for the Xbox One, and then I'm like, all right, now I got to upgrade. But I'd rather get in earlier with the Series S and like kind of, okay, get a little bit. I saw the Dirt 5. I was like, oh, that was all right. It's okay. I saw the ray tracing. I was like, oh, that's all right. That's good enough. It's good enough. That's all you need, baby. $299. Yo, for $299? Yup, please. Yup. I don't feel bad about $299 getting a console. You know what I'm saying? $499 is like, damn, man. That's like, man. But I could do it, But when the next one, RDNA 3 consoles come out, and I will assume that there will be $499 too, because this is like the new norm. Like the next gen, boom, a couple of years from now, $499, I'm good. I'm like, yeah, I'll splash on $499 in 2 or 3 years. Sure. Okay, back to Twitch chat. Sorry, I've been neglecting y'all. Bonds was watching X-Men AOA with my GF with GF. That's Age of, what's AOA? Wait. AOA. X-Men. Wow, I don't remember what the... Okay, wait. X-Men 2, X3, X-Men First Class, and then X-Men... Wow, I don't remember. Sorry. But cool. X-Men is good. You watching on Disney Plus? They have I think they have most of the X-Men stuff on Disney Plus, except for Logan. Oh, Age of Apocalypse. Yeah. Was it Age of Apocalypse? Or just Apocalypse? I thought it was just Apocalypse. X-Men Apocalypse. Yeah. I saw it recently too because it was on Disney Plus. I was like, Age of Ultron. That's what I was gonna say, Age of Ultron, but I was like, that's not X-Men. Guy Judah says, I watched 2 women on Twitch that were so hyped for the PS4 games on the PS5. They like the ray trace stuff. I'm like, wait, okay, I don't know how much of that's gonna be in there, but sure. And it's not even, I mean, maybe they could squeeze some hardware ray tracing on the PS4 games, but you know, it's not guaranteed. They don't have enough. They don't have enough CUs to pull that stuff off. Not really. Bond says, LOL. Those 2 hyper personals. Even my GF was asking, why are you fangirling so much? Hype women. Yeah. Yeah, the same name issue with the films. Yeah. But, man, I'm going to say that the happenings on the 16th and hours after that, whatchamacallit, it was just really a bad look. Legend says, why is she just stick with your Xbox One and pick up a PlayStation 5 for $300 and then get those exclusives too? Then when they come out with the Xbox Series Y, you would still end up ahead of the curve. Yeah, no, I know. 3 you know what? I think here's another thing. Like my whole thinking on the Xbox, how I'm gonna approach the Xbox Series generation. I'm looking at Sony as well, right? So here's the problem, and this is for everyone who's running out to get a PlayStation 5 right now. You have to realize that the PlayStation 5 was kind of meant to come out in 2019, right? And so that's why they're overclocking it and all this stuff, and it's kind of anemic as far as power goes. And like I said, RDNA 3 is around the corner. So when RDNA 3 hits, you know Sony's going to have a PlayStation 5 Pro. Guess what's going to be in it? It's going to be RDNA 3. They're not going to do what they did with the PlayStation 4 Pro. The PlayStation 5 Pro will be RDNA 3. If they do the same thing they did with the Pro, with the PlayStation 4 Pro, and they double the CUs or whatever and try to make it'll be basically an Xbox Series X except it's PlayStation 5 Pro, I'm like, I will smack my head, and sure, it'll be like, oh, it's $499 just like that. No. That's not good enough. They're coming in. Sony with the PlayStation 5 is coming into this generation underpowered. Now, it's not by a lot. Okay, I'm going to say it's by a lot because they're trying to fool you with all this overclocking, smart shift, and all this stuff, right? And I'm like, okay, smart shift, it's something that AMD does, but whatever. But honestly, PlayStation 5 is a 9.2 teraflop machine that they're pushing to 10 to. It's raining outside. I think it's rain. Yeah. I was like, what the hell is that noise? Sound like horsies. Opti says, SD the games will speak for themselves. Look at Halo Infinite on the most powerful console. Well, we know what happened with Halo. Well, a couple things happened with Halo. The devs were tripping, and it wasn't ready. So, I'm not worried about Halo Infinite. I mean, look at Destiny. Destiny was broke as hell when it came out. And it looked better, yes, but that's because it doesn't have dynamic lighting, blah, blah, blah. So, I'm not worried about Halo. The thing is, here's another thing that I don't think people realize. Like this gen, Sony launched with nothing. They had Killzone, Shadowfall, and Knack, right? And I don't know what else they had, but that was it, right? Killzone, Shadowfall, Knack. That's it, right? 3 years later, then the games started coming. Then the bangers started coming. They didn't have no bangers for the first 3 years. PlayStation 4, right? Except this generation is different. This generation, remember, PlayStation 5 is supposed to come out last year. So, meaning in 2021, 2 years later, that's when you get God of War. That's when you get Horizon Zero Forbidden West. That's when you get Spider-Man Miles Morales. You know what I mean? Well, Spider-Man Miles Morales is now, so it's a year. So, the timeline is messed up for Sony because they didn't come out when they were supposed to. And so all their games are coming out on the front end of the generation, meaning they're not going to have a lot of those bangers the 2 to 3 years going in. So it's not going to be the same. It's going to be like, oh, okay. So we got Horizon. So if you want the next Horizon that's actually going to take advantage of the PlayStation 5, that's actually going to be next gen, if you want that new God of War that's going to be PlayStation 5 God of War, not cross-gen, if you want that Spider-Man 2 that's not going to be cross-gen, you're waiting 4 to 5 years. When that 3 to 4 years is up, and Jim Ryan says, all right, we dropping PlayStation 4, that's when you're going to get all those games. You're going to wait. And by then, the new consoles are going to, the mid-gen is going to come up already. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know how Sony's going to work this. I don't know how they're going to work this, but it doesn't seem like they're in a good position right now. I mean, a lot of it is hype. A lot of it is, oh, they got the games, they got the IPs and all that stuff, and I understand that. But look at the timeline. When are these games coming out? If they're coming out next year, they're cross-gen. They're PlayStation 4 games all dressed up. That's the same that Halo Infinite is. Except they forgot to put the dress up. They forgot to put lipstick on the pig. It was just like, dang, you ain't put no lipstick on? I mean, your dress is all right, but dang, you could do your hair at least. They didn't do nothing. Bedhead, no makeup, Halo Infinite coming out looking like Craig. That's what happened. And I'm like, really? Really, Phil? I mean, that's a Phil needs a smack for that. That one Phil deserved a smack on that. If he said, yeah, that looks fine, no. They fooled themselves on that one, you know. And I'm glad that people were upset, and I'm glad that they said, oh snap, it ain't good. And they went back and said, oh, we got to fix that. Good. Now, will Sony do something like that? If y'all complain about Sony, like, oh, that game is hot garbage. No. Look what they did with The Last of Us. They're like attacking people, shutting down your YouTube channels. Come on, son. Yo. Legend says, disagree wholeheartedly about hot titles coming out Sony. Sony's got hot titles every year. Ain't nobody said anything about Uncharted, and it's in the works. There's handfuls of Sony AAA titles that haven't been spoken about. That's true. But I'm saying like the ones that were the bangers this gen, meaning Horizon, God of War, Spider-Man, those three in particular, just those three. Let's think about those. Those are going to be cross-gen, meaning they're not going to take advantage fully of the PlayStation 5. Now, a new Uncharted may, because like you said, they're not talking about it. I will assume that they'll do a Last of Us 2 re-up a PlayStation 5 version, you know, like what they did with The Last of Us, the first one, remaster basically. So I'll expect a Last of Us 2 remaster. Yeah, I mean that'll be good for now. That'll satiate the fans. So I'm not saying that they got whack games. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying like the narrative has been PlayStation 5 exclusive titles going to take advantage of the hardware, and that's not the case. They will be better than PlayStation 4, yes, but they're not taking advantage fully. The only game so far that they have shown that is taking advantage of the hardware in a way is Ratchet and Clank. That's it. Rift Apart. That's it. Everything else, cross-gen. And so, like I said, they're in a position where they're in the defensive position because Microsoft ain't playing this time. Remember in 2013, Microsoft was stupid, pompous, full of hubris. And they're like, yeah, we got a console for you. Go get the Xbox 360. I'm like, are you serious? Did he just say that? Sony is making a lot of the same mistakes. Now, they didn't say that exactly. But it's Bonds says Sony more or less pulling a Nintendo with the DS system life cycle. I don't know about that. Bonds also says, as usual, Nintendo paved the way and the others follow lockstep with the console life. Launch console, the test model. Mid-gen, the true form of the console. And the last version of the gen, some down and less issue version. Well, I think all of them do that, so I wouldn't say that Nintendo or or Sony or Microsoft. They're all doing it, so that's fine. Legend says, but we're going to get Ratchet and Clank early next year. Who knows when we're going to get Halo, and I still don't have the next gen bling bling. That's true. I mean, Halo is the thing that they need to prove themselves with. They gotta be like, yo, if they make Halo super dope fly, then I'm like, okay, y'all saved yourselves. I'm not gonna be like, oh, y'all are the best. Like, no. Y'all are on probation right now. All right, you come back with something. You show us. You need to prove to us that y'all can actually make a game that people want to play. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'll play Halo anyway because I got Game Pass. So I'll try it out. But if it's hot garbage, I ain't going to play it. That's it. I'm waiting for Forza Horizon, specifically. But I'll play Forza 8. Is that 8 or 7? 8. I'll play Forza 8. So, yeah, no. They, Microsoft don't get no passes. They get no passes when it comes to certain things now, but overall, you look at what they're doing this gen versus what Sony's doing Sony is messing up so much that I'm actually like, oh, okay, I feel better now because it's not just like me in my own little world thinking that Sony's an evil corporation or whatever, and Microsoft is okay. I mean, am I crazy? Did Jim Ryan just say, who wants to play those old ass games? They look horrible. Talking about Gran Turismo 1 and 2. And I'm like, that's your team. What are you dissing your team for? And I was like, what? I'm like, okay, is it just me that I'm just such a fan? I'm such an Xbot that I see what he's saying about his own company and that he shouldn't be saying that. He shouldn't feel that way. And that's another problem with Jim Ryan is that he is not, I don't think he's the right person to be the head of Sony. I don't think from all the things that he's said, it's like, no, it's not. We'll get into that a little bit. Legend says, the only reason why I'm not on the hunt for an S right now is because of Halo wasn't hitting. Yeah. For me, it's about the games, and I ain't got the games yet from Xbox. When they come up with the games, I'll come up with the cash. Yeah, no. That's perfect. I think everyone should be that way because that's what will make them make the games. That's what will make them do the deals to make the games. Now, they do have a lot of next gen only, whether it's second party deals or whatever it is, publishing deals or deals with third parties. They have more than actual Sony does. And that blew my mind because I'm like, oh man, PlayStation 5, they're going to have all these next gen games only. It's going to kind of be better, right? I'm kicking rocks. And that's after Halo Infinite. I'm like, man, Halo Infinite is whack. PlayStation 5 going to have the better games. And then all this news comes out and I'm like, oh, wait a second. Now, Sony doesn't have all the exclusives for PlayStation 5. And then I'm looking on the Xbox and I'm like, hold up, they got like 11 games that are next gen exclusive, whether it's timed exclusive or whatever. No, I think some of them are deals. And so I'm like, oh, well, that's different. Where's the damn? I had a list. Oops, that's not it. Come on, you son of a bastard. But yeah, so I'm like, oh, so now it's like the generations have flipped. The new generation is coming up, and they've changed spots again. Now Xbox is in a better position. They have a better position as far as services. Game Pass is a hit. People keep buying into it. They have over 10 million. I'm gonna say they probably have 11 million by now. When it launches, they're gonna have even more because if people do that payment plan, the little $24 or $35, if they do that, if a lot of people sign up for that's instant Game Pass subs. Instant, because it comes with it. And it's a good deal. And it's like, damn. I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, I wish I didn't have Game Pass. Or I'll be like, oh, can I do that payment plan and just pay it all off? Can I do that? And get the Game Pass years? Can I get that? the 2 years of Game Pass and slap it on there and then pay it all in full, like in a month or whatever. I mean, I'm sure in the contract it says how fast you can pay it off, but that might be the move. You know what I mean? Because I could pay $300 plus tax, right away. That's no problem. But I'm like, yo, if I get Game Pass with it too, that's kind of. Let's say what did I save $20. But that's. Do the math again. Do the math again. Do the math again. Sorry. So it's 20. We'll do the cheap one. 25. Change 24. 600. Yeah, that's right. So it's 300. Well, minus one. Oh no, minus 180. Minus 180. Minus 299. So $60 that you save doing the payment plan for the which. So honestly, it's not worth it. I mean, it is. I don't think it's worth the hassle for me. But actually, think about it. If I can do it that way, then that's an extra 2 years. I have to worry about it. So actually, it might be. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I'm not worried about it. Yeah, but as far as copping an Xbox right away, yeah, there's no. I'm not gonna say there's no reason. If you have Game Pass, that's the only reason. Just get Game Pass Ultimate. And I've heard. I haven't had a chance to do it because I don't have a Bluetooth controller for some reason. I could have swore this was a Bluetooth controller, but it's not. So what I'm gonna do is I'll either get a Bluetooth controller or whatever, and I'm gonna try out the streaming because it's out. Is it out of beta or is it? I don't know. I thought they launched it, but it's available for everybody. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try that out. Play some. I don't know. Play something. There's so many games in Game Pass that I'm like, whatever, I'll play it all. But I don't. Sony is tripping. Sony apologizes. Sony apologizes. Let me see if I can get some pictures of the PlayStation. PS5 size. No picture. Picture real. Picture's real. There it is. Let's just do that one. But a lot of it is just like go full screen on it. There it is. So I don't know centimeters. I don't know centimeters. Oh, where did they show the back? That's the back right there. Okay, come on. It ain't gonna let me get in there. Come on, man. Let me get in there. You suck. Open image and new tag. Okay, here we go. That's a bad picture. All right, so here's my question, and this is a very important question. Where does the SSD go? Because on the PlayStation 4, there's a little door in the back, and you go boop, and you go screw, and you screw, and you slide it out, and you put it in, and you splap, right? You swap it out. I don't see. Is it like down here, a little thing? I don't think it would be down there, right? It should be up over here so it could cool, right? Maybe it's up there. Maybe it's a little, and then slide in. Because it's small. It could be a little like that, right? So, but I don't. Where is it? Where's the? Is it on top? I don't know. I'm like, yo, what? I don't. That's the bottom. That's the top. There was nothing on the top. Come on. I can't zoom in. That sucks. All right. Sony PlayStation 5, blah, blah, blah. So this is centimeters? 1070 centimeters. So what's centimeters? Centimeters to inches. Centimeters to inches. I didn't spell that right. 1 centimeter equals 0.3. So 70 centimeters equals 20. That's not right. That ain't no 27 inches. Is that millimeters? That's centimeters, right? Hold up. I gotta go back. Hold up. It should say on here. Get out of here. Hold up. What does this say? Later. it's still massive. Da, 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 da. Okay, millimeters. All right, so 390 millimeters. Let's do millimeters. Millimeters. So what did it say? 390? 390 by 260 by 104. 290, 360, 104. So 390. 390. So 15 inches tall. 15 inches tall. 15. Do I have a 15 inches? So I have a mat here. I thought I had a ruler. I don't have a ruler here. So this is 12 inches. 12. And what is this? Hold up. 5 inches is about right there. So the PlayStation 5 is about right here. That's how tall it is, right there. That's tall. That's a big Jesus. That's a big ass machine. All right, so what was that on? 260. 260. Oh, that's too big. That's not right. Come on. Stop it. Boop, boop, boop. 10. So 10. 10 wide. Okay. Yeah, wide. That's about regular. That's about a regular console width. But dude, that's a big ass. That's a big boy. That's a big boy. In related news, Sony has apologized after thousands of hopeful PS4 owners were unable to secure pre-orders this weekend earlier. So I want to know. I want to go to the prices for a second because my price point will stay $279. Come on. What if I send you $20, Bonds? Would you get an Xbox Series S then if I sent you $20? Come on, Bonds. Come on. PS5 worldwide prices list. There we go. No. PS5. They're not gonna give it to me, are they? God dang it. Just give me a list of all the prices. So Australian is $5.99 AU. $4.90. So it's 400. Wait. Digital 360. 400 pounds, right? Yeah, that's right. $400 and $5.99. So what's the exchange rate? That's the thing I need to do. So USD to AU. So Australian dollars 1.3. So if the 5.99. Oh no, 5.99, right? So 5.99.00 or 99. 5.99.99. So the PlayStation 5 in Australia costs $438.05. Why is it more expensive in other countries and other places than it is, you know what I mean? Sony slick, boy. I tell you what. I want to hear the noise each system creates while engaged running a disc. True. There you go. So that was that. Now I thought that let's do it this way. $499.99. So it's $684. All right, so if we do what was it? The euro is a little bit less. That wasn't the right one though. Oh yeah, maybe we did $3.99. Let's do $3.99. So it wasn't the euro. What was it? The pound is the same. The British pound. Is it gonna be in here? Brazilian. Ooh, let's see what the Brazilian real is. What? Yo, Rafa's in Brazil. I'm like, yo, 21,500. Although it's like, you know, it's one of those move the decimal point over, but it's still, no, it's not. That's a lot. Yeah. And let's go through all the countries. Afghani, wow, 30,000. Okay, we did the euro. I think Canada is actually more expensive too. Where's Canada? Canada dollar. Dude, 520. Yo, I'm trying to think though. Oh yeah, that is right. When we went up there, the exchange rate was but that's a lot, man. $527 for the cheap one. Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm sorry. That's crazy. But let's see what. Can't do that. That's like when you go that far. So what about Chinese yuan? I guess the dollar's kind of whack. Huh. Bitcoin, What about Japanese? Japanese use yen right now. Yen. Japanese yen. Is that they put this country first? Yeah, there's Japanese yen. So that's where you move the decimal point. So it's $522. That's what I'm talking about. It's like, it's more expensive in the U.S. and I think where else? I think U.S. and Europe. U.S. and Britain and I guess Europe. It's like the cheapest, and everywhere else is more expensive. And I'm like, okay, it's like $22 or whatever, the equivalent of $22 more in Japan, right? And I'm looking at that, I'm like, okay. I mean, I know we have exchange rates and all that stuff, but it's more expensive. So I guess they're making it up over there. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, I know. It's exchange rates and all that stuff. But still, I saw that going around. I was like, oh, yeah. Why is it more expensive? I think it was a Canadian or something. Was it a Canadian or was it a European? So somebody's like, yeah, this thing is more expensive over. I was like, what? Huh? And I realized that we're kind of isolated over here in U.S. We're like, yay, $4.99, yay, $3.99, yay. Meanwhile, in the rest of the world can't talk. It's like a little bit more, and they're making up a little bit of money that way because, let's be real, the $3.99 discless PlayStation 5 is losing them a lot of money. I'm gonna say probably like close to, I'm gonna say not $100 a system, but I'm gonna say $70 a system because, well, you know what? Let's say 50. Let's say $50 a system. That's a lot of money. You sell 1 million systems. That's not 5. That's 50 million. That's $50 million they lost by selling 50 million consoles. I mean, 5 million. Wait. 50. That's not right. 250. Okay, whatever. Math. Yeah. No. But yeah. So yeah, that's that. Let me see if I can find the actual. Let's see what this. PS5 digital edition launches. Blah blah blah. Ding, 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 ding. That's another thing. So Japan, Canada, Mexico, Australia, New Zealand, and Korea. That's a lot of freaking. Oh, US too. That's a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, it's literally the exact opposite of what they did last gen. Everything is switched. We're in upside down world. Last gen or this gen, beginning of this gen, Xbox launched limited, and they slowly rolled out to the rest of the world. This time, Microsoft's doing worldwide launch day 1, November 10th. Everybody's getting it. Meanwhile, Sony's doing a rollout thing, like what Xbox did last time. So I'm like, is this bizarre world where everything is happening reversed? The only thing that Sony has on their side is that they have the fan base, but they also have those IPs which people want. Other than that, they don't have Game Pass. They don't have a cheaper console. They don't have a good leader that is not lying to their customers. Yeah, they're fumbling. They're fumbling. I'm not gonna say they actually fumbled yet, but the ball is bouncing in their hands right now. And the fact that they're losing so much money per unit, and that's another thing. They are not making as many of the 399 units. And one second. Oh yeah, baby, that was good. Oh, that was a good one. They are not making that many discless PlayStation 5s, the 399. Why? Because they lose too much money on them. They don't lose as much money on, or maybe they don't lose any money on the 499 PlayStation. They might lose it, but not as much. So they're making more of those, making less of the 399. They only have, they make, it's like 1 to 5 or something like that. I'm like, oh, they had 20 PlayStation 5 fats and then 1 or 2 slim boys. And I'm like, okay, that's messed up. They're doing that so that they don't lose their shirt, but they can still say, oh, starting at $399. It's so disingenuous what they're doing that is kind of ridiculous. And it kind of hurts it hurts my brain a little bit, because I look at it, I look at what they're doing, and I see what they're doing. And I'm like, why don't other people see what they're doing? I'm like, once again, I'm looking at you side-eyed, Sony. What? Okay. Is that smart? I mean, some people some ponies on the pony train, be like, oh, they're the best. Look how smart they are. They're so good at business. Meanwhile, they're losing money on each system, which is fine because Xbox is too. But Xbox got that money, son. Xbox is not beholden to the Xbox. Microsoft isn't beholden to the Xbox brand in order to carry the whole company, like Sony, you know. And so they're in a bad position right now. If you want to look at, like, oh, you know, financially speaking, how much money is Sony going to lose on this launch? If they're popular, it's like a lose-lose situation. Like, they make these consoles. If they sell, they already know, like, if we make this many consoles, they say 11 million. If they sell 11 million consoles, how much of that is loss? And after they sell the 11 million, will they be able to produce a console that won't lose them money? And once they get to there, then they can be like, okay, woof, we got over that, woo. Now we can start making money when we don't have to close down shop. But how long is it going to be until then? And I'm not going to say guarantee, but I think what is going to happen with the discless one is that it's going to still be limited forever and ever and ever, and they're not really going to make those. And when they do the refresh, you know, the mid-gen refresh, either they'll do a slim. I'm trying to figure out how they're going to do a slim. Maybe they'll change the shape of the box, make it more like an Xbox Series X. I don't know. I'm looking at the Series S. I'm like, that thing is so small. But how the hell did they and they changed this PCB. It's a different PCB than the Xbox Series X. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like they're totally two different systems, yet and still they run on the same architecture. You know, it's super smart what Microsoft did, because what they did was they got a greater yield from their silica, because they say, okay, these are going to be Series X chips and these are going to be Series X chips. So the ones that didn't perform as well, you know, those are the garbage ones around the edges that got, you know, doo-doo and stuff on, right? I'm pretty sure it's a different die, but I'm just saying, if Sony would have done the same thing and said, okay, we're gonna have the PlayStation 5 and then we're gonna have the PlayStation 5, you know, where it's like, it's not that good. Bond says that's the process of brand marketing. Yeah, sure, that's true. But if they would have done that, then they could have used more of the chips off of those dies instead of having a 50% loss rate on. That's the rumor. Then I can't believe anything that comes out of Sony's side, because they're like, oh yeah, they lied. First they lied. Everybody knows they lied, right? Or everybody who's paying attention knows they lied. Straight to your face. And you're supposed to feel good about giving Sony money. They lied to your face. Jim Ryan doesn't give a fuck about anything. Don't get about you. All he wants is your money and your subs. That's it. He don't care about games. He already proved that this gen. He don't care about games. At least Phil does. He was a programmer. And he's a gamer. I see him. Do you ever see Jim Ryan playing PlayStation? Does he even have a PlayStation 4? I don't even know. I see Phil's on my friends list. I see Phil popping in there all the time playing games I can't play. I'm like, man, he plays a lot of Destiny too, but I'm like, man, yeah, he playing that. He playing the Xbox. He playing the Xbox. You see the little icon, like that more flower playing. He's just bragging now. Well, he's freaking like, he's just bragging now. I can play the Xbox Series X and nobody else can play. I just look at his little thing on the Xbox and see the little icon. He's playing it. I'm like, that's all right. But I never seen. I don't know, Legend. Do you see Jim Ryan on the PlayStation playing some games? He on your friends list playing? Legend says no corporation. Wait, I'm sorry. You need to ask yourself, how much money will Sony lose on the back end if they lose the console war? I don't know if I wouldn't say losing the console war. Because the metrics are different now, because it's about subs, not about units sold. Sony has said that, but a lot of the ponies don't realize it. So all they see is, oh, they sold more units. But if they go by that metric, they're gonna lose, because they're losing money on their own. You know what I'm saying? Legend also says no corporation gives a F about you. They only care about your money. That's all of them. That's true. But some corporations care about your money, but they do things that are, nice, good, helpful, pleasant for the consumer. That is us. Like, oh, thank you, corporation. I will happily give you money because you're making me smile with the things you're doing for me. Thank you. That's a good deal. I can't pass up a good deal. Let me get that right there. And I think that's like, if you want to kind of whittle it down, concentrate it down to a little fine point, it's really about a good deal, right? That's what the PlayStation 4 versus the Xbox One was, right? It was a good deal. It was a better deal. It was a good deal, but it was a better deal. Like Xbox One versus PlayStation 4, price, PlayStation 4, power, PlayStation. It's a no-brainer. Good deal. It's a better deal. Boom. All right? Xbox Series X, even though it's not as powerful as the PlayStation Skinny Boy, it's still a good deal. On its own, in a vacuum, still a good deal. And that's the problem that the ponies don't see. They don't see the good deal in front of their face. Or they do, and they're going to get one anyway and not tell nobody. I'm like, yeah, I gotta do it. Subsy, what's up, God? What's up? Hope everything's good with you. And the land on town, Texas. I ordered 2 PS5s the other day. Forgive me, for I have sinned. How dare you? Let me ban you right quick. Okay, I wasn't typing anything. I hope you got the disc version, because that one will be worth more. I mean, it is worth more, but it is he's ordering 3 boxes Tuesday though. I'm not pre-ordering. I don't understand. I mean, y'all can pre-order and get them, whatever. What I'm gonna try to do. I'm gonna try to. Well, first I'm gonna take off on my birthday. I'm like, yeah, I'm taking off, and I'm gonna walk into a Best Buy because I want to see. I want to see what the displays. I want to see if they have any. And I'm gonna go in. I want to pick up a box and say, that's a box. Put it under my arm. Go like that. And boom, buy it. That's what I want to do. I want to have that experience of going to a store and buying a console. I've never bought a console on Amazon or nothing like that. I bought a couple games and stuff, but not a console. That's a special type of like, oh, remember when you bought your PS4? Remember when you bought your Xbox? Remember when you bought your Nintendo? Remember when you bought your Genesis? You brought it home from the store and you put it down, you got the bag and receipt. And you're like, yeah. You know? It's more than just getting a raggedy ass box with like a boot print in it. Hopefully it ain't broken. Cause Amazon be tossing. They'd be like, here. I wouldn't trust them. I'm a mailman. I know how parcels are treated. I don't know, boy. One for me, one for Colton. The S for my niece. Nice. You're a good uncle. I tell you that, Subsy. You are the best uncle. I'm an uncle. Yeah, none of my nephews are getting none. Nope. Santa Claus ain't coming this time. Nope. Sorry. You badge your mama, your daddy for a PlayStation, a Playbox, a X Station. I don't know. You better ask them, cause not me. I'm not the one. No, sorry. Opti says I ain't ordering no Xbox Tuesday. F the Xbox. Come on, Opti. Why you gotta hate like that? Come on, son. Look, Opti and everybody, Legend, everybody. It's all love. You know, we all here. Let me read this. Legend. Legend says, I don't see the good deal when you buy an Xbox just to play Crackdown 3, which I was about to do until the reviews came out. Yeah, that wasn't a good game. Xbox would have literally stolen my money out of my wallet and in the box gave me a brick that had nothing to play on it. There's a lot of good stuff on Game Pass, Legend. And that alone is it really is worth it. I ain't see no games I'd want to play on new Xboxes that I can't play on my Xbox One X. That's true. I mean, it's the same for the PlayStation 5, right? You can play all those new games on the PlayStation 4, so why get a PlayStation 5? Except for Demon's Souls. I think Demon's Souls is coming on PC anyway, so. And Final Fantasy is definitely coming on PC, so they have no exclusives. Now, I think, like I said, I think Demon's Souls is going to be not cross-gen. I think it's going to be PC as well, so we'll see. I mean, that is perhaps the only one, a remake. Come on, son. Really? $500 for a remake? Come on, son. I mean, I'm not saying Blue Point don't make good games or do good remakes. They do. But come on. That don't make no sense. I mean, Ratchet and Clank, yes. But even Ratchet and Clank, it's like, oh, it's kind of an old school game. If you think about what Ratchet and Clank is an old school game with a whole bunch of particle effects and a little bit of ray tracing. A lot of bit of screen space reflect. Let's call it hybrid ray tracing. Let's call it hybrid software ray tracing. And, 3-second loads. There are loads screens. They just hide them. I went through this already. So, honestly, I mean, I think the PS4 Ratchet and Clank was great too. Looked good, but it's still a Ratchet and Clank game. It's not a God of War. It's not a Horizon Zero Dawn open world. Oh, okay, this is kind of good. I don't want to go to COVID land on launch day though. Hey, wear a mask. I have to go to work 5 days a week. I'm talking to people. I have my mask on. It's 110 degrees outside. In the vehicle, it's got to be 120, 125. So I'm hot. Got my mask on, sweating my balls off. And I'm actually not around a lot of people when I'm working, so it's all good. I'm not in a big crowd like in a restaurant. People are going to restaurants and clubs. Well, not clubs, but partying and stuff. And like, wow, how did I get it? I'm like, you a dumbass. That's how. But me, I go to work. I'm not around a lot of people, so I'm like, hey, stay back. Oh, you got a question? What's up? Hey, God of War gonna be lit. Yeah. God of War 2 is gonna smash whatever Xbox is coming. Halo Infinite, what a joke. I'm gonna say that Senua's Saga is gonna be a close contender, only because Senua's Saga is a different. It's I think. Well, first they have a bigger team this time, and God of War 2 was written, as far as I know. Cory Barlog wrote God of War 2 before he actually wrote God of War 1. That's why God of War 1 took so long to do, because he had already done God of War 2, and that was the game that he was going to do, but then he came up with God of War 1 instead as I don't know, I guess it was a reintroduction to, God of War, a reimagining of it. Subsea says God of War 2 is going to be lit, but I doubt it's coming in 2021. They didn't even show any of it. Well, they say it is coming in 2021, so. Well, like I said, it's still going to be cross-gen. So, not going to take advantage fully of the PlayStation 5, so what's the point? Why waste money on these old-ass games? Huh? Can't take about. The PS4 is holding the PS5 back. These are all things that ponies have said about the Xbox, by the way. The game isn't even remotely close to the scale of God of War. You don't know that, Opti, you're assuming. It's coming. Subsea says 2022 minimum. Opti says Sony Santa Monica working on it, not 343 Studios. Well, it's Ninja Theory, first of all. And remember when Senua's Sacrifice, the first Hellblade, was on PlayStation 4, and you're like, oh my god, gadoosh, play. This game is so good, gadoosh. And now Microsoft has a studio called Ninja Theory that made that game. And they're making the sequel. And they're making Project Mara? Mara. I think it's Mara. I don't even know what that is. Legend says, please don't get me wrong. I would love to buy an Xbox and have it on my entertainment rack, but they have nothing for me. Every year I watch their presentations hoping for something that hits me in the right way, and I get nothing. Yeah, I can see that. I think with the studios that they bought recently, that's going to change. I mean, if you just think about the and as far as volume goes, how many studios they bought, I believe they're equal to, or maybe they have one more. I mean, they might be equal to how many studios Sony has. And so, if you think about another thing, is that a lot of the studios they acquired are kind of splitting into multiple teams. So, like Ninja Theory, they're making 2 games. Obsidian, they're making 3 games. How many games they're making? I think they're making. They're making Grounded, which is okay. I'm still playing it, so it's something. They're making Avowed, and I think they have something else too. But so you see, it's not even just like, oh, they have these studios and equal, so they're gonna have equal. No, they're actually outputting more. The thing is kind of an issue with the way Sony was making games, and I think it's going to change this gen. They've kind of said that they are making smaller games, like Miles Morales, and they're not going to go out and admit, oh yeah, going to make smaller, cheaper games and stuff. They're not going to say that. They're going to just not say anything, which is what they do a lot, and they're going to do it. And so when you get Miles Morales and it's 5 to 10 hours, and you're like, oh, okay, that was short. I mean, it's cheaper, yes, but a $70 game, it's not going to be 30 hours. They're going to cut it down to like 15, 20 hours so they can get that budget down and get them out faster, not 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And so that's another thing that you have to realize of what's going on. And Sean Layden was right when he said that. He said, yo, these games got to get smaller. They're getting too expensive. It's too much. He said that before they fired him. They said, get out. And I'm like, yo. And he was right. So, and they were talking about this on another podcast, that all of the people that made the PlayStation 4 generation great are not at PlayStation anymore. Sean Layden is gone. What's his name, who did the Yoshida thing where they said this is how you trade games? He's gone. Yoshida got demoted to indies. I'm like, yo, the people at PlayStation are like, the turnover is ridiculous. Just in the managerial stuff, you gotta look at the studios. Naughty Dog lost 70% of their staff. So I'm like, yo, it's like, are they falling apart? Insomniac is probably gonna be Insomniac. I don't know if Naughty Dog is still the same studio anymore. We'll see. Sub Z says, I sold my PS4 Pro for $275, so I don't feel as bad about buying a PS5. Okay, that's all right. Opti says, I can't even sell my Xbox One for $200. One X for $200. Poopy box. Yes, you can. They're going like $250. Yeah, you can sell it for $200. Yeah, you can sell it for that. Why are you worrying about Sony Studios? We're over for 343. I am worried about 343, but me crying about it ain't gonna make it any different. They need to just come up and come on. I'm worried about Sony's trajectory because you're acting like it's gonna be a repeat. You know what I'm saying? You're acting like, oh, they're gonna do the same thing and make bangers. I'm like, okay, that's the hope. I mean, we all hope that, all these companies, all these game studios make great games that we can have fun and enjoy. Of course. But the reality is, hey, Neil Druckmann, your studio, everybody's leaving. Why is everybody leaving? Why does Amy Hennig? Why was she fired? What's going on? Hey. And how? I mean, this is old news, but how they reacted to the fans and the leaks and all this stuff and the whole YouTube ban. I'm like, that's crazy. With The Last of Us 2, I'm like, yo. And that's like, it's almost like a trend. It's like, yo, Sony is like, is this like, are we supposed to be afraid of you? And like, oh, we don't want to say anything bad about Sony because they'll ban my channel. Like, get the hell out of here, man. That's going to make it worse. People be like, yeah, come and ban me. And they're going to take a PlayStation and like, do a poopy on the PlayStation. Nice, wet, liquory poop. Opti says, if Microsoft top studio, okay, first of all, 343 is not Microsoft's top studio. Okay. First, not true. I would say Turn 10 / Playground Games, top studio. If Microsoft's top studio 343 can't even push out a good looking Halo after all these years, how much hope do you have for all the other Xbox studios? Like I said, 343, they're good, but they're not the best. I would say the Coalition is probably a little bit better, but they're making two different games, so. Last of Us 2 sold like crazy. That's true, but it's still. Talk about Gears of War sales. Listen, Opti, and all the ponies out there. Not saying you're a pony, I'm just saying. You need to stop thinking about sales because that's a losing argument. You be like, oh yeah, PlayStation sold a lot. More than Xbox. Meanwhile, subs. Meanwhile, getting that cash every month as opposed to one cash out, and then that's it for this generation. Jim Ryan recently said, hey, people want their console to last 5, 6, 7 years. I'm like, what? So you just want them to buy one PlayStation? That's it? So if you divide $400 in 7 years, that's not a lot. That's like less than a game. The math don't make sense. Meanwhile, $15 a month for 7 years seems like a lot more than $4.90. Let's do the math. No, the subs is $15 a month. Just because you got in early, don't mean everybody did. Oh, doing the wrong thing. I mean, I got in early too, so it's all good. So let's do the math. So if we're talking about what we did do. So $3.99. Oh, it was $3. So it's $15 a month times 12. Well, hold up. I did it wrong already. 12 times 7, 84 times 15. That's $1,260 for 7 years. Meanwhile, if you have one person buying one PlayStation, $399 PlayStation, or let's say $499 PlayStation, that's not even half of the money that you get from the subs. Which one is better? If you're a business, you're like, yo, I want to make the most money in 7 years. You say, one person, how can I get the most money out of one person? Sell them a box for $500 or sell them a service for $15 a month. Come on, son. Economics. You could be like, you want to talk about sales? Game Pass for 7 years versus a PS5 for 7 years. Game Pass destroys it. 3-1, buddy. 3-1. So you talk about units all you want, but who's making more money? That's what it really is about. It's not about the number of units you, especially I'm assuming that they're gonna make money on the $4.99. They're actually losing money, so they won automatically. If you want to go unit sales versus Game Pass, come on, son. It's not even a contest. Sony can't even compete in that area. And that's the forefront. That's a frontier of gaming right now is services, streaming, and subs. And Sony's losing on all of those. They losing on services because PlayStation Plus sucks. I mean, it may be good enough for y'all, but it sucks. PlayStation Now, hot garbage. And whatever else I say. I'm missing. What subs? The Game Pass sub. Oh, yeah. It's all about sales. Sub C says, if people do the payment plan, they will be paying $15 a month on the new ones. What? If they do the payment plan for the Xboxes, for the Series X, it still comes out. I think I did it was $60 less than if you just paid them. If you bought the console and paid for the 2 years. Opti says no one is gonna continue their subscription with Xbox. Ain't got no good games. And that's another. He says calm down. That's another narrative that ponies are saying. No games, right? Well, I mean, PlayStation 5 ain't got no exclusive games either. So you want to rely on that PlayStation 4 library, go right ahead. You want to live in the past, go right ahead. Just saying. It feels bad to be on the other side, doesn't it? The potentially losers side. Demon Souls, God of War. Hey, guess what God of War is? This is multi. It's Crush-Gen. Sackboy Big Adventure. All right, you got me there. You got me there, gosh darn it. We cannot compete with the level of graphic fidelity on Sackboy Big Adventure, son. That is the power of the PlayStation 5 is right there. You saw Sackboy? He was like that. I was like, yo, look at, and then Bug Snacks came out after that. I was like, yo, look at that Strawberry, son. Yo, that Strawberry is next gen Strawberries right there. And then there was the hippopotamus dude, the ranger was it a hippopotamus? The ranger dude with the hat. I was like, yo, look at the hat, son. You can even see how crisp the polygons are. That's how high the resolution is that you can see individual polygon intersection. You can see the vertices on the polygonal model that they use on the hat of the walrus dude. That's how good PlayStation 5 is. Last of Us 3. Okay. Ghost of Tsushima 2. All right. Days Gone 2. Don't. Final Fantasy Remake 2. Final Fantasy 16. Subsea says, there's only one have-to-have game on your list for me. Aldi says, Uncharted 5. Every RPG you can think of on PS5. It will be Drake's Daughter. Still only one have-to-have game. Yeah, I think Uncharted might be good. Uncharted 5, I think, would be dope. I think they might take a break from Last of Us. 0 to have game on Xbox. Well, look. I mean, that's your opinion. And that's the argument. That's the narrative that you're trying. But, I mean, if you want to talk about narratives, right? So the narrative for the ponies are Xbox ain't got no games. The narrative for the bots are most powerful console. All the third-party games will play better on the Xbox Series X. Period. There's no even discussion. There's no arguments. There's no like, oh, what you talking? No. They tried. They tried hard with the SSD, man. They were like, yo, that SSD gonna make them graphics so fast. I'm like, huh? Fast graphics? Okay, sure. Oh, my bad, Legend. Sony gets subs too. Yeah, I know they got subs, but they don't have as many as Xbox. Like PlayStation. Well, I'm not talking about PlayStation Plus. I'm talking about PlayStation Now, which is it's actually more money for them. Legend says, first question is, how much did you pay for your 2 years of Xbox service? Second question is, how much does Halo Crackdown 4 cost to make? Nobody buys these games in the stores. They're getting given away for free at the great cost to Microsoft. No, that's the thing. You have to look at the subs as far as like, it's like saying, oh, all these shows, these scloozy shows on Netflix, how much are they losing on these things? Because nobody's going to the movie theaters to see them. It's the same thing. They get subs. The subs they get so much money a month, Netflix, that it pays for all that stuff. And that's the same thing that Microsoft is doing. All these subs for Game Pass, 10 million plus, 150 million a month, whatever. Let's assume everybody's paying 50, which isn't the case, but still, at most 150, well, over that. But let's just say $100 million a month just for subs, just for Game Pass. For my sub, I paid the dollar, but I bought 2 years of gold and converted it. So, and I had a balance on it. So it was what was that? 120? It was 121 if you want to be specific. $121 last year. And I have until June 2022. And so I paid $120. So it's not like, oh, I just paid $1. No, I paid to get the 2 years. And that was cheaper than doing the $15 a month. You know what I mean? So, and Subsea says he has Game Pass through 5/2023. So, and that's it was a deal for me, but they still got money from me. So it's not like, oh, it's $1. How they gonna make money? No, they get money. They get money. Don't you worry about it. They get money. They're not fools. Let me go back a little bit. Subsea says Halo, Hellblade, Forza Horizon 5. I'm definitely looking forward to Forza Horizon 5. And then you got Fable, you had Avowed. There's a lot of games that have the potential to be dope. Now, I'm not going to cap and say, yeah, they're going to be so good. I don't even know. I don't know. But I'm like, first of all, Obsidian was one of the best acquisitions that Microsoft has made recently, because Outer Worlds is the best Bethesda type RPG game ever. It's better than all of Skyrim. It's better than Fallout. I don't like Fallout, but it's better. I was like, yo, I like this game. The writing's good, acting's good. Ashley Birch is in it. I was like, yo, this is good. And they made that. Now they were making that anyway. And now I'm looking at Avowed, and I'm looking at Grounded, even though everybody like, oh, Honey, I Shrunk the FNs. I'm like, whatever. So what, like, I don't care. I'm playing it and I enjoy it. And I'm like, this game, first of all, I was talking about it before. Grounded is a game. There's some stuff happening in Grounded that I don't know, man. It's gonna be crazy. Let me get through. Let me read Legends stuff here. When they started this whole thing, they gave away years of subs to tens of thousands of people, and I don't think they're doing as good as you say they're doing. I think they want the subs, right? So if they have 10 million, right? And not everybody's paying 10 million, but like, say if everybody who, let's just say everybody did what I did, which a lot of people did. The Subsea did it. You buy 2 or 3 years of gold and you pay the $1 to switch your gold over to Game Pass Ultimate. That's what I did. They're still getting 2 years of gold out of me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, oh, then they're only getting $1. They're getting their money, and they're giving away Game Pass on these other consoles. So it's not really about making that money up front. And that's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, they're not making all this. Like, man, they've been playing the long game for a while. Microsoft. They've been playing the long game ever since they started in video gaming. But they had to reset this gen. When the Xbox One came out, they had to reset because they just gave it away. They totally messed everything up. And Sony took it and ran with it. You know what I mean? And that's all Xbox fault. That's all Microsoft fault. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to defend them for nothing. They messed up and they paid for it. And now I'm glad they messed up as bad as they did, because now we are reaping the benefits as gamers and as a whole in general. We're reaping the benefits, and Microsoft is showing Sony how it's done. Look, a subscription service for games. This is how you do it. Sony still doesn't know. They don't get it. They're like, nah, our games are too valuable to put on PlayStation Now for free and stuff. I'm like, that's not what. Okay, sure. Meanwhile, you only got 2 million, been out for like 7 years. Meanwhile, Game Pass been out for like 2.5, 3 years, and 5 times more people on Game Pass. Explain that. Explain that. It's about a good deal. They gave you a good deal to get in, and they said, here's a good deal. You stay in for a minute, and all I got to do is find a couple of good deals to get my extension on my subs, on my subscription, and I'm good. I'll get a year. If I can get a year for like $60, boom, I got it. Gotta go. You know what I mean? Even for $100, it's still a better deal than paying $15 a month. So, you know, it's about a good deal. I'm sorry. Subsea said Halo, Hellblade, Forza Horizon 4. Those are for sure for me. I agree. Opti says the narrative is true. Jeff Keighley said Xbox Game Pass is cool, but it's like basic cable of games. Meanwhile, Sony has the HBO of games. HBO games. Halo and Forza, let my ass off. Are those games even relevant anymore? They can't even sell as well as the worst Sony exclusives. Yeah, Halo is definitely relevant. Opti, while you're making fun of Halo, where's the Halo killer on the PlayStation? Where's that? Oh, that's right. The studio that was making the Halo killer decided not to make it anymore because it wasn't killing nothing. It was killing itself. Legend says, I don't know about you, but I play hot and fast with my video subscriptions. I turn them off and turn them on all the time. Netflix off, CBS on, Disney on, HBO off, and I think I'm not the only person that rolls like that. That's true. But the difference is Halo killed itself, yo. Yeah, they pretty much shot themselves in the foot. We'll see if they can heal from their wounds. I think the difference between like those video services versus Game Pass is that Game Pass is the games. You know, like a video service, you watch, you binge a show, and you're done. And then you got to wait for the next show to come out. Meanwhile, Game Pass has a lot of games. So you'd be like, all right, let me play this game. And maybe it'll take you a week. Maybe take you a couple, depending on the games. Depending on the game. And it also depends on the game itself. You could, like, hey, Destiny 2, whatever the expansion is coming out, it's coming out day and date on Game Pass. So I got Game Pass. So I'm going to play the new expansion for Destiny 2 on Game Pass. Because I have Game Pass. And I can play that forever. Plus, now they have EA Play. So I can play all those EA games too. Those EA games. So the deal keeps getting better. The point is, it's a good deal. You feel good when you find a good deal and you take part in a good deal. You feel better as a consumer, as a person spending money. You're like, yo, I got a good deal on this car. I got a good deal on this TV. I got a good deal on this video game system. I got a good deal. And that's what people want. You don't want to pay more and feel like get buyer's remorse. You know what I'm saying? That's the worst thing. That's what you don't want to happen. You know, and people who bought Crackdown 3, buyer's remorse. I had Game Pass, so I was like, I played it. I was like, oh, this is but I didn't feel buyer's remorse because I played Forza Horizon 4. I played Gears 5. I played Outer Worlds. And those 3 games alone covered the cost of if I had to buy those games outright. That's it. I was like, once I played that last game, I said, you know what? It's all gravy right now. I'm playing for free as far as I'm concerned, because I would have bought those games. I would have bought Forza Horizon 4. I have all the other Forza Horizons, but I didn't buy 4 physically because Game Pass. I did buy an expansion, the Lego expansion, but that's all right. Excuse me. Legend says a good deal is only if you're using it. If I was paying $1 for Disney Plus, but I wasn't watching anything, that's true. On it, it wouldn't be a very good deal. That's true, but I mean, there's a lot of games, a lot of third-party stuff on Game Pass that's definitely worth it. So it's not only about the first-party stuff; it's about everything as a total. But the first-party stuff coming out, so like when Halo does drop, you should get Game Pass, even if it's for the trial or get a couple months or something. We'll see. They usually give out like a couple weeks or something, but. Or get the deal. Get the $35 a month deal. You get Game Pass for 2 years, man. I think that's worth it, man. I don't know. Especially like for like you who's like don't really want to get an Xbox like that. That's a good deal. Okay, sorry. I gotta get back on Twitch here. Opti says, LOL, I got $1 now. Let's see how many people continue to subscribe to pay at full price when there's no games coming. See, there's that narrative again. No games. There's plenty of games coming. They showed a lot of them too. That narrative doesn't work anymore, especially when Sony just pulled the rug out from under you guys. Like, zoop. Sorry, we're sorry. I want to know how many more sorries they're gonna have before the console launches. Sorry, Station 5. Sub-Z says, nah, I had to buy a lot of cars to get that much Game Pass. Now I'm at the point I can stack deals when I find them, even if they're 6 months from now. That's true. I got 2 years, so I want to do that too. I want to find some deals and stack them up and get them. Because I feel I'm gonna be. I mean, 2022. Yeah, I'll be into Xbox for that. But I would say, I'll probably need another year just to give a buffer for when that the new consoles come out, past this new gen coming up, that RDNA 3 console stuff, and I'll see where I'm at then. I'll probably have to get some more after that, but I bought year of PS Plus the other day for $28. That's good. That's a good deal. Opti's telling me to calm down. Sony and Microsoft are in it to make money, of course. Yeah. If Sony thinks putting those big AAA exclusives under a subscription service and that it would bring them more money, them selling the game for $60, $70, they would. First of all, they know it would make them more money. It's not up to Jim Ryan for the most part. I mean, he is the head, but he has a boss. His boss is in Japan. His boss is a Japanese man, an elderly Japanese man. Forgot his name. It's Yoshida. I forgot his first name. Kirishiro Yoshida, I think is his name. I'm not sure. Opti says Horizon Zero Dawn, Halo Killer. That's not no. Subsea says the Halo Killer Killzone. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that was it. Well, Killzone 2. I don't even remember what the first Killzone was. It was some third-person garbage game on the PlayStation. Opti says, want to know where the Halo Killer is? Halo Infinite. Damn sick burn. Okay, yeah. They pretty much tripped and busted their lip. So Subsea says, I will agree. Game Pass is like basic cable and PlayStation is HBO. I am on my Xbox every day and I play on PlayStation about 2 weeks every time an exclusive I want comes out every 8 months. Obviously, you're trying to say Japanese people are bad businessmen. No, I'm saying the Japanese people at Sony and Nintendo have a way. They're set in their ways. They're set in their ways as far as tradition. Tradition is very important to them. They're very sexist, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. And they don't get it. I don't think they still get online play. For real. I'm just talking about Japan, not China. China's like, whatever. They know what's up. Tencent knows what's up. But Japan? Why do you think that the PlayStation doesn't have all these super dope, online, first party, online games? Japan. They've never been like that. Legend says, if they drop Halo and it gets good reviews and maybe something else looking good on the horizon, I'll be happy to buy Xbox X. Yeah. And I agree with that totally. The Halo killer is Call of Duty. Yeah, pretty much. Call of Duty kind of ate Halo's lunch. But Halo does have the opportunity to come back. It doesn't look good right now. But they didn't show a lot. They showed a little bit, right? But they didn't show enough to get me completely worried, because graphics, they can fix the graphics. It's not, I'm like, come on, son. You know, you throw some ray tracing and you fix some of the textures and stuff. It's not a big deal. You get some better models up in there. It's not a big deal, right? But as far as as long as the gameplay loop is there, then that's the most critical part. And I was looking at it, I was like, okay, that looks and feels like Halo, and it's open world, or semi-open world. So I'm like, all right, cool. Whoa, thunder. Funny because Sony and Nintendo was winning. Sure. Well, yeah, that was because Microsoft, Xbox handed Sony. They gave him the ball. They said, "Here, run it back for a touchdown. Here, run it back for the touchdown again." That's yeah. Whereas Microsoft too scared to share their console sales. I mean, I think at first they were like, yeah, we don't want to look bad. But when you think about it, and Sony has said this, so you can be like on console sales all you want. But when Microsoft is making hand over fist more money than Sony is, when you want to say versus console sales, then we already went through this. Then you don't, there's nothing to say, you know. You can say, oh, they sold more units. Like, okay, who made more money? What's more important? Selling more units or making more money? And that's the thing. That's like, yo, if it were me, give me the more money. That's like, yo, do you want to be famous or do you want to be rich? I'll be like, I'll be rich first. You want to be wealthy, or you do want to be on the front page of everything but not have as much? I'm like, money. Yes, give me the money. I mean, this world is money. Money. Game Pass will become Movie Pass. You know what? Game Pass is Netflix. PS Now is Movie Pass. They have messed up PS Now so bad. They messed up PS Now so bad that when it launched, it was the worst idea. It was like, yeah, PS Now, you could rent games, digital. I'm like, what? Y'all don't remember that PS Now launched as a rental service. They trying to be like game, whatever it's called. I can't remember what it's called. The stupid thing with the damn orange and white envelopes. It's game something. Gamefly. They try to be Gamefly, said digital. That failed. Failed hard. And then they say, uh-oh, we got to do something. So they bit off of Microsoft and say, oh, you could download some games now. Oh, man. They suck so bad. Oh, boy. DualSense controller. Pulse 3D wireless headset. 3D audio support, really? Okay. It's just damn headphones. Charging station for thing or whatever. Why am I still here? Oh man, I'm over time, aren't I? Is there anything else? I'm sweating my balls off in here. Sweating my balls off. I mean, that was the main thing. The whole pre-order fiasco. It's like as the past recently. I mean, this past week was like the culmination of like Sony being quiet. Why is Sony so quiet? You know what I'm saying? If they were so confident, they would have said their price a long time ago, right? They were waiting for Microsoft. I think that the PlayStation was going to be more expensive. And sometimes I do wish that the Xbox leak didn't happen so that Sony could come out with their crazy high price and then Microsoft would be like, bam! But at the same time, I think that if Sony would have came up with a higher price, then the Xbox would have been higher as well. So in that respect, I'm glad. If that was the case, I'm glad that the leak happened so that, you know, the prices are what they are. But I don't see, like, I don't see the plan on Sony's side. Like, all they have literally is exclusive IP games. The hope that these games will be good. I ain't even saying great. I ain't even saying lit. I'm saying good. Right? That's the hope, right? So that's all they have. They lost the power narrative. They lost the services narrative. They lost the size narrative. They lost, what else? The hard drive size narrative. Did I say price? I said price already. That's 4. They lost the services. I said services, but the Game Pass versus PS Now narrative. That's 5 things. All they have is exclusives, and as for right now, they have the SSD speed. But rumors, Albert Pernello, who used to work at Microsoft, is not there anymore. He said something about it'd be funny when it turns out that the velocity architecture is actually just as fast as the SSD speed on the PlayStation. I don't think the PlayStation has like a equivalent velocity architecture. And I think that there's a lot of things that people aren't taking into account. Price of SSDs. Prices of SSDs are expensive when you talk about NVMe 2 V4, PCIe 4, right? PCIe 4. And the size, the ones that Sony is talking about, like, I would be very skeptical of a company that's saying, there are no hard drives that are compatible with our system yet. They're not fast enough yet. And I'm like, hold up. So we can't even I buy a PlayStation 5. I can't even buy storage because it's not fast enough. And then that means it's going to have to be the fastest, i.e. the most expensive. You know how much a 250 gigabyte NVMe 4. For a PCIe 4 is? It's a lot of money. It's like $300 for 250 gigs. Not even a terabyte. Man, that's going to be like $500 for a terabyte. Ain't nobody going to buy extra storage. I don't even know where the damn thing goes on a PlayStation. Legend says, let's be honest. Halo needs more than just good graphics. Other games have all kinds of enhancements that Halo needs to get up to date. Like, say, Overwatch to bring them up to speed with other games, or maybe even Battle Royale. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see what they do with Halo. Yeah. I agree with that. It's 100,000%. That's definitely true. Okay, there we go. Let's see. So they didn't. All right, but we did it already. We did that. PS5 news. PS5 apologizes for PS5 pure fiasco. Oh, I know what I want to see. I want to see that Jim Ryan talking to, I think it was Famitsu. Jim Ryan. Let's do quote. Jim Ryan quote. That's a different Jim Ryan. Okay, Sony Jim Ryan. Or PlayStation 5. Let's do PS5. Is this the one? No, I gotta find the one. Let me see. I think I have it on here, where he was talking to, I think it was Famitsu, and he said some stuff, and I was like, what? Let me try to find it. First, Sony apologized. Wait, hold on a second. It was, I think he was talking about the Xbox Series S, and he says he was talking shite. First, it shows for PS5 buyers. Oh, yeah, here we go. No, that's not it, is it? Silicon error. I think that might have been it. Oh, no, just the PS5 confirms. Jim Ryan confirmed PS5 won't have compatibility with PS3 and older games, PS1, PS2. That's another thing that's kind of sucky, but whatever. That's the one less thing that is good about PlayStation. Here we go. Here it is. It is Video Games Chronicles. Here we go. Let's find that. Oops. Video Games Chronicles. Is that spelled right? I don't know. VGC. Sony. Jim Ryan just said a stupid thing about backwards compatibility. I'll just go here. It's basically series style consoles have not had great results, says PlayStation boss. So here it is. All right. We're going to keep going, son. We're going to keep going. Let's see. I'm sorry. I'm missing what you're saying, Legend. I believe with both consoles, both systems. I need to wear my glasses. No, I don't. They're dirty. I believe with both systems, we're going to have to dump games that we're not playing currently into external hard drives because they're silly if they're thinking we can store our backlog in SSD. Yeah, that's exactly right. We're going to have a mass storage. I mean, I think you could probably get a mass storage, like a terabyte or so SSD, SATA type thing. Because you go 3.0, so it'll be faster than your traditional platter. But there's the chance that it'll fail. So I don't know. But yeah, I definitely that's what I'm gonna do. So Series S consoles have not had great results, says PlayStation boss. Jim Ryan claims Sony considered a lower spec PS5, but decided it would be too problematic. PlayStation considered a lower. Yeah, just said that. Would quickly become obsolete. I get. You know what? Remember what I said that they're gonna have RDNA 3 coming out soon. These consoles are gonna be obsolete in like 3 years. So there you go. First thing I would like to say is that I respect. First thing I'd like to say is that's how he sounds in my mind. First thing I would like to say is that I respect every competitor's decision and their philosophies. Clearly, price is a very important factor. We respect other companies' competitive strategies. However, we are fully committed to believe in our current strategy and the effect it will have. So wait, what is their current strategy? Because first it was exclusives for the PlayStation 5. It will sell PlayStation 5s. Now it's, we lied to y'all. You don't have to buy a PlayStation 5. So is their strategy to lie to their customers and turn them off? If that's it, it's working. I mean, not to sell PS5s, but remember when they said they want to transition to the PS5 as fast as possible? Remember when he said that? Mm-hmm. Yep. Probably because it's supposed to be out last year. Clearly, price is a very important factor. We respect other companies' competitive strategies. However, we are fully committed to and believe in our current strategy and the effect it will have. I just read that twice. Sorry. One thing that can be said is that if you look at the history of the game business, creating a special low-priced, reduced-spec console is something that has not had great results in the past. We considered the option and seen other executives who have attempted discover how problematic it is. I have no idea what console he's talking about that was low-powered and Legend. Opti, somebody tell me what is he talking about? Because I don't. Is he talking about the Series S? The SAT edition? Not the Series S. The Xbox One S all digital? Is he talking about that? That's the only thing I can think of. Or was it the PSP Go? Maybe he's talking about that. He's like to diss his own company. And he's acting like, when anybody does that, it's always crap. And I'm like, I don't even know the last time that happened. What was the last time there was a low spec, low price console or reduced spec, low price console that like shat the bed. I don't know. I need to find examples. Maybe I need to. He added, based on our research, it's clear that people who buy a game console wanted to continue using it for 4, 5, 6, or even 7 years. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. He's trying to stretch out the PS5 for 7 years. Dude, 7 years, we're going to be on Ryzen 5. You know what I'm saying? The PS5 is going to be an ancient dinosaur. Crazy, son. They want to believe that they have bought something that is future-proofed and not going to be outdated in 2 or 3 years. That's exactly what's going to happen. The PlayStation 5 is kind of already outdated because it's kind of a half-ass RDNA 2. It's like RDNA 1 with some extra RDNA 2 sprinkles on top. They messed up hard. They jumped the gun in building this in the console with the last-gen architecture, and Xbox waited. That's why it came out later. That's why they have all these games that are ready in 2021 because they were making games for it already. And they're cross-gen. They want to, I just read that. Oh, they want to have faith that if they end up buying a new TV, that the current console will be able to support that new 4K TV that they're considering on. The Series S can output 4K video. Streaming video like Netflix, it can do that. It's just like the PlayStation 4 Pro. That's what I said. Remember when Sony fooled everybody about the PlayStation 4? They put 4K on the box. It's like they don't even realize that they've done this same thing with the PlayStation 4. They're like, nah, we didn't do that. I'm like, y'all, oh man, y'all are crazy, man. Sony's planning to release 2 PlayStation models in November. However, unlike blah, 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 difference of blah, blah, who cares? Series X. Oh, yeah, they're talking about these different. And there's been talk on both sides where they say, oh, this guy from id saying really bummed about the RAM situation. Then other guys are saying, hey, it doesn't matter because you're not going to have those high res textures. You're not outputting at 4K, so you don't need it. You don't need all that RAM. You know what I'm saying? If you had the same RAM spec as the Xbox Series X and the S with lower resolution, man, you'd be doing 240 frames. It's crazy. You don't need that. So that's the thing. It's so crazy, man. And maybe, I don't know, maybe he's a Sony pony or something. You know, there are Sony ponies that are devs, so you got to remember that stuff. Like, I'm on a dev team. Part of a dev team, so yeah. Why is the digital edition lesser than the other one? I think for the simple fact that the Xbox Series X has better specs for the same price, and biggest of all, PlayStation launch a week later has made my decision, and I'm getting the new Xbox. Wow. Those pre-ordering this thing at full price are morons. Not even a bunch of games for it yet. Wait a year. Price will be lower and more games could be out. Possibly a 2-year wait for more games. It'd be like 300 to 400 in 2 years. That's not a bad thought right there. Yeah, think about it. Cyberpunk. Oh man, Cyberpunk is my jam. That's the one I'm gonna get. I'm gonna stream that one. I'm gonna get Cyberpunk. I'm gonna buy the physical for Cyberpunk. I'm gonna get my Xbox Series S. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it in here. Oh my God, this is a stupid cut. Yo, Jeff Keighley. I don't know, man. PS5 will have faster load times. God of War 4, PS4. Load times? Never heard of it. That's true. Were they low? Oh, they hid the load times. They were there. They said. Sony boss says 99% of PS4 games will work on PS5. Lies. You are lying, Ryan. Why you lying so much? Know what I say? Ghost of Tsushima remaster. All these games that were bangers on PlayStation remaster. God of War remaster. I'm gonna guarantee you this right now. They already did it with Spider-Man. They're gonna do it with every other game. Hunter says, arrogant Sony is over. Humble Sony is back. What? Really? Really? Just because they said this, let's be honest, PS5 pre-orders could have been a lot more smoother. We truly apologize for that. Get out of here. That's the only thing they could have said, and they didn't really. It was like, whatever. And who wrote that? Not Jim Ryan. He doesn't know how to be humble. You guys need anything from the PlayStation Store? Look how empty it is. Nobody's in there. All full of stock. Nobody. They're not selling nothing. PlayStation got no games. PlayStation got no next-gen games. Legend says, here's the hard pill you probably don't want to swallow if the new Xbox doesn't outpour for the old Xbox One generation of consoles. It will not exist next generation. Huh? I don't want to swallow. If the new Xbox doesn't outpour from the from the old Xbox One generation of consoles, it will not exist next generation. If you don't believe me, it will be marked by Microsoft releasing their flagship game and date on other consoles, just as Sega. Nah. I mean, nah. I don't think. I mean, some games like the Minecraft and the games that the studios that they acquired that already had deals for publishing that are outside of their control, they're gonna let them. It doesn't make sense to hamper the sales opportunity, And honestly, Microsoft is more concerned about services and games, and so if they're concerned about services, then maybe they won't make a box. 20 years from now. Maybe it'll just be a TV thing. Maybe it'll just be streaming. Maybe it'll just be PC or whatever. But I think a box is always going to be... It's always an entry point for people who don't want to mess with PCs or who don't want to stream it or who, the internet's kind of sucky. So streaming doesn't... I know the internet will be good later, but honestly, I can't really rely on the ISPs to give us good internet because we have AT&T and they suck. They suck in my neighborhood because we have an older neighborhood and outpour. All right, so let me read it again. Here's a hard pill to swallow. Here's the hard pill you probably don't want to swallow. If the new Xbox doesn't outperform the old Xbox One generation of consoles, it will not exist. It will not exist next generation. Okay. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Like I'm remembering 2013 Xbox $499 with the Kinect. People didn't want it. I was like, whatever. I'm looking at that, right? I bought one. I'm looking at that. And I'm looking at $299 Xbox Series S. And I'm like, I was perfectly fine with just holding on to my Xbox One X and just like, I'm going to chill for a minute, for a year or two, see what's up. But that Series S got me like, And if it got me, who I was reserved, I was fine with just not buying one. And it got me kind of like, I think I'm going to get that right there. If I walk into a Best Buy and it's on the shelf, scoop. It's like an impulse buy. They might as well put it at the end right near the register next to the gum because that's how quick you just scoop it up and throw it down, man. And that's the difference. So I think the price point is on point. Plus with X, I have Game Pass, so it's not like, I'm buying it and I ain't got no games, but I got plenty of games to play. So, and plus, whatever they release, I popped in Battletoads, right, last night, because I was like, oh, man, let me get back in it, because I played Battletoads, and I wasn't feeling it. I was like, I don't really like this, not that much, And the main part of the game, the actual Battletoad part, where you just beat them up, I was like, it's all right. It's not the best. Everything else about that game is so good. It's really written good. That's a good game. Like, if that was just a freaking a Netflix cartoon show or something, I would watch the hell out of that battle. They need to put that in just throw it up on Netflix and have just the animated part. Because it's funny. It's funny. I was like, all right, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. And the animation's all right, too. So I was like, all right. It reminds me of Samurai Jack a little bit, the animation style and stuff. Legend says the Xbox Game Pass will be an app on the PS6. I mean, if they could, I'm gonna be real. If Microsoft could, if Xbox could, they would put it on the PS5. No cap. They would do that. That's how heavy, that's how deep Microsoft is. They're like, you know what? You could buy a PS5, but sign up for Game Pass, play it on your PS5. We don't care as long as you sign up for Game Pass and you play them Xbox games. That's all they care about. So, seriously. You know what I'm saying? And they're making these consoles as another avenue to get into the ecosystem, but I'm not like one of them fanboys that are like, no man, I can't believe God of War is going to PC. I hate you, Sony, you suck. Some gamers are like that. They're like hating Sony because they trying to make money on PC. I'm like, yo, doesn't matter. Why are you crying? You know what I'm saying? Let them get paid, yo. And that's why I'm not mad at Microsoft. Like, I'm not gonna be mad if they say, yeah, Halo Infinite is on PlayStation 5. I'm like, all right, that's cool. As long as it's on Xbox, as long as you just don't drop Xbox and do a Sega, like you were saying, Legend. If that happens, then I'm like, well, that's a whole nother story. That's like when I'm like, I'm a PC gamer now, I guess. That's when I jump ship. Sega broke my heart when Phil, God damn, I forgot his name. Damn. But when he canceled the Dreamcast, I was like, damn. I stopped playing games for a minute. I stopped playing games for like 2 years because the Dreamcast, they canceled it. I was like, I was sad. And that's when I was running the streets, going to the clubs and stuff. That's when I was clubbing, son. And then the Xbox came out. I was like, oh, what they did right here? This Dreamcast 2 disguised in the Xbox. And I copied it and I jumped back into video games. Because I was like, Sony wasn't doing it for me. And I was so heartbroken. I was like, I'm never falling in love again. Never again falling in love. Sega, I fell in love with Space Harrier, the arcade. Never again. Then Microsoft came out, Jet Grind Radio and Sega GT. I was like, what did you say game doing on? That's why I bought an Xbox. Not because, it's an Xbox, because Jet Grind Radio and freaking Sega GT. The Sega game combo that came with the Xbox. That sold me on the Xbox because I'm a Sega fanboy first, boy. And so I was like, and then I looked at it. I was like, this is kind of like a Dreamcast, kind of. Although I would say the Dreamcast was more pleasant as far as the UI, the back. It was like pastel colors and more like a Nintendo system, actually. And I was like, I felt good when you turned it on. I was like, and the little controller's like bouncing around. You turn the Xbox, it's like radioactive sewage spilling out of your TV. So it's like, then you go inside, it's like, I'm like, yo, are they picking up signals from like Jupiter or something? What the hell is going on? Anyway, I've talked long enough, rambled. Juicy effects. That's another thing. I mean, that looks good, yes. But I've heard arguments about this. Well, first thing I would say is that you notice they're showing a lot of nighttime in Miles Morales. They're not showing daytime stuff. A lot of nighttime stuff. I know it's supposed to be in winter or something, but come on, son. Show some daytime, okay? And I think they're doing that because they don't want to show the parallel between daytime and daytime for this, because it's the same map, it's the same game. I think they're making it a little bit bigger as far as was it the Bronx, I think it's supposed to be. But the thing is that they're saying that the effects are so kind of overdone that it's hiding some of the allure that the first game had, which was like kind of the acrobatic and the animation blending and all the things that you notice about the actual character, Spider-Man per se, for this example. That you can't see. Like, all you see him go, and you see a big old flash, and what'd you see? You can't even see what's going on. And that was the complaint that some people had. And I was like, oh, Well, yeah, it's kind of true. I mean, it looks cool, but I get it. I get it. When your PS5 accessories, uh, Legend says, and why would you ever buy an Xbox? One, controller. Two, price. Three, I think they're gonna probably be for the time being, or the far future or foreseeable future, that they will be going for the title of most powerful console. I think that's what they're gonna do, because that's how they started in video games, and they seem to be doing it right. So yeah, but it's mainly the honestly Forza Horizon. But yeah, I mean, like PS5 versus Xbox Series X. I mean Xbox, because PS5 may have exclusives, but still, I can't play the exclusives I want to play that on Xbox. Particularly Forza Horizon, that's my jam. I can't. I feel you, man. I was all about Sega, never a Nintendo fan. Yeah, Nintendo. My brother had a Nintendo, so I was like, my brother and my cousin had a Nintendo, and I was the only one who had a Sega Master System, and then the Genesis. So I was the Sega dude, and it was good since we had everything. But don't get it twisted. It's an expansion, but it's an expansion with a great. No, a great game. Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying Spider-Man is gonna be garbage or whack. I don't think so. It'll definitely look good on a PlayStation 5, but it is being held back. Like some things that I would say Insomniac, because they're good. They're a good studio. They make good games. I would say some things like what they did with Ratchet and Clank, they can't do because the PlayStation 4 is holding back the actual design of Spider-Man Miles Morales. They can't do certain things because the PlayStation 4 can't do certain things. So they can't do it on a PlayStation 5 version unless it's a different game. A different version, I forgot the word. But just like I said this before, like what was it called? Shadow of Mordor was a different game on the 360 versus the Xbox One. They didn't have their Nemesis system in the old generation because they couldn't get it to work. So they were two different games for the most part. Well, for the little part. These 3D models of the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X give you a better sense of just how big these consoles are going to be in your living room. That's not... No way. Because we did that. It was 15 inches tall, right? It was 15. It was like my phone and my 12. The PlayStation 5 is a big boy. 15 inches high. Or long, depending on how you orient. Yo, this orientation, hot garbage. That's a bad design. I'm sorry. You could try to spin it however you want to do it. Cap all you want. That shit look ugly as fuck. It look like a clam talking. What's up? Come play me. PS5 gets ray tracing, right? Sony makes it easy for devs to implement. Second time we are hearing ray tracing would come in a patch later on for Xbox Series X. Oh, MBG, this motherflower used to be an Xbox dude. Now he's a PlayStation dude. He be capping every day. I think Sony paid Capcom for that. Let's be real. Because ray tracing is hardware on Xbox and software on... Maybe it's easier to do software ray tracing? I don't know. Who knows? PS5 retail packaging is obscenely attractive. Yeah, but the fucking console isn't. The freaking console isn't. Why did I curse? I don't know. Yes, they do. Yes, they do, and it's called new games. Sony won't have a competitor for Xbox Game Pass. Look at this guy. It's called new games. New games? Nah, that's the PlayStation 4. You getting that confused? Wait, is that where the NVMe goes? Oh no, that's the charging station. See, you got me tricked. My every PlayStation Plus. Wait, what did he say? Oh, so now y'all care about old games. Tony Polanco's Remy Death. He says, this illustrates Xbox's major issue. It's a lack in compelling first-party titles. He's talking about old-ass games. The first-party games on here, not third-party, destroy any equivalent on Xbox. MS needs to step up on his first-party next-gen. Come on, son. I'm looking Battlefield 1? Come on, that's not even first-party. God of War is good. Bloodborne, they should have done a Bloodborne remake. Monster Hunter World, third-party. Final Fantasy, third-party. Fallout 4, third-party. Mortal Kombat, third-party. That's a thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is Persona 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 18. So 10 or 11 out of the 18 are first party. That's a good ratio. I'm not gonna hate on that. But come on, Arkham Knight. I was playing that the other night on Game Pass. Played that on Game Pass. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Biohazard. That's on Game Pass. I don't want to play that game though. I was like, I don't want to. Detroit Become Human? I think David Cage is overrated. Until Dawn? The Man of Medan is on Game Pass as well. I haven't played that yet though. Days Gone? Whack. Ratchet and Clank? Alright. It's pretty good. I think it's top caliber. Uncharted 4? It's on the top there too. Mortal Kombat? Multiplat, Final Fantasy, multiplat. Bloodborne, like I said, I'm not into the From games, but man, I think Bloodborne, I would say this, I think Bloodborne is probably their best game so far, FromSoft. But I still think God of War is the best game that they have ever made, the PlayStation Studios, whatever they're called now. I think it's the best game they've ever made. And so that's a high ceiling for them to reach on the second one. So I hope, God of War took a long time to make. So I hope that they've streamlined their pipeline in their workflow to make this game real quick, or it's going to be a shorter game, So I don't know. Everything's up in the air, and this whole recent revelation of them lying and being deceitful, it just puts a bad taste in my mouth regardless. And I'm just looking at it objectively, and I don't trust them. And it helps that I'm not a fanboy, so I can be like, okay, if it was something compelling, like I said before, I'd be like, do I gotta go? You know what I mean? I'm not ashamed to be like, yo, whatever. I'm gonna go with Sony now. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of being abused by Xbox, but that's not the case. Xbox turned it around. They got rid of Donnie D. Like, get the hell out of here, and Sony got rid of all their angels, and they brought in the demon. Jim Lion Ryan, to mess up y'all day, to mess up y'all generation. So this generation is gonna be kind of spooky for Sony. I'm just saying that right now. Bonds, I'm about to bounce. I'm sweating. I'm hungry. I'm gonna go inside and play some. I might play some Tell Me Why. I didn't finish that one. I might play some more Battletoads, and I'll probably play a little bit of Grounded. I've been chopping away at Grounded. There's not a lot to do because the story elements are but there. I've found 1, 2, 3, I think 4 different labs that I can't get into because they're locked. So I'm like, oh, so there's a whole lot more story. They just haven't released it or anything. So once those labs open up, then I can, because I have a base that I set up on the porch, which is quote unquote out of bounds because it's like an under construction place. But I built it on the other side of the out of bounds. But I was like, I don't care. I'm on the porch, and there's like some paint cans and stuff. And then I built my first base in the middle of the map. And I think I have a couple of other places where I could camp out. But Grounded is a very good game. If you have younger kids who like Minecraft, for instance. Ooh, my dad did pasta, ribs, and salad. Oh, my gosh. Dang it, man. Stop bragging about your freaking super duper chef, 12 chevron chef dad and making me hungry, salivating all up on my microphone. Salivating on the microphone. Can't I play all those games on PlayStation 2? Yeah. You can play them on... You can play them on PlayStation 4. That's my whole thing about this whole cross-gen thing on the PlayStation 5 is that everything they're talking about and bragging about and all these new games, all these new sequels and stuff, they're all going to be on PlayStation 4. So don't waste your money right now. It's... Look, we have bought many consoles, right? We as a community, as gamers. And we know we want to buy the new stuff, yes. But we know that in hindsight, years after, we should have waited. We should wait. There's no reason to buy a new console day one. No reason except for the FOMO. But there is no FOMO. Not now. Because all this stuff will work on what you got. So just hold, especially now when the earth is basically Armageddon, you know what I'm saying? California's burning. Everybody's got something. You know what I'm saying? You can't go out. You got to wear masks. It's crazy. Nobody got jobs. It's ridiculous, right? So save your money. Like me, I'm not going to pre-order. I'm going to try. I'm not going to I'm going to take off anyway and I'll go and see what's up. But I'm not going to go out of my way and kill myself and go, I got to find me a console. I'm like, well, if I don't find one, I don't find one. They'll get into stores eventually and then I'll pick one up then. It's not a big deal. All this content will be accessible for what you got, Legend, and for what you got, Opti, and for what you got, Bonds. What? Automod held a message? Allow. What the hell is that? It's so stupid. That was weird. I don't know what happened with that, Opti. Those PS Plus collection games are... I think with the N and the G. Yeah, the NGA. That's what happened. The typo. Are better than all the games on Game Pass. Yeah, I got to go into my settings on Twitch and try to fix all that stuff. Yeah, because I haven't done that. I'm just lazy. I haven't done that, so don't worry though. I'll always put your things up there because I know what's up. So those PS Plus games are better than all the games on Game Pass. Come on. Listen, Opti. I know, you're trying to hyperbolize the situation. That's fine. I understand that. I understand the sport of, console wars and stuff, and that's fine. But sometimes we got to be like, all right, let's be real. You know what I'm saying? Let's sit back and say what's really going on. What's the better deal? Do I need to? Do I really need to? And in my instance, technically I don't. But I tried to play like Grounded on this. I have an old OG Xbox One down here. Dude, the frame rate was ridiculous. I said I can't play this. This is like in the teens, son. I couldn't play it. I was like, this is horrible. So I said $2.99 streamer box, get all the frames. I don't need the rest. It's the perfect solution. And it's the perfect solution for like any streamer that's going to stream Xbox games or Game Pass games. I'd even put out the suggestion. I can't do it because I don't have enough time. But if you say, yo, I'm going to start streaming. I'm going to be a YouTuber or a streamer or whatever. And I'm going to get Game Pass. That's all you need. You need an Xbox Series S and Game Pass. And you could go through alphabetically and play every game in Game Pass plus EA Play and have content for at least 2 years. I was saying 3 years, I think. 3 years if you do one game a week. 3 years of content. 3 years of content. For what? $25 a month. As far as that, like if you get the subs and the followers, it pays for itself. All you gotta do is play the games. So for streamers and streaming, it's a no-brainer. It's the perfect stream. It's almost like they made it for that. Because it's like, you can stream. I mean, it'll output 4K, but 1440p or 1080p. That's what people are putting out anyway. So as far as stream goes. Legend says, it don't matter, man. I got that cash, baby. If I want that new hot system, I can copy. That's true. And I have enough now for Series S. Yeah, anybody has that. And I can have enough for the Series X by the time my birthday rolls around. That's no problem. I can get it. But it's really about being smart and looking at the generation coming forward, and I don't want to get a Series X. I don't want to spend $500 every 2 years. That's my whole thing. If I can go offset that bigger cost with a $299, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like skipping a generation, but you're not. I mean, I could, but I do want to get the next gen benefits. I want to get the next gen CPU benefits, and that entails higher frame rate. You know, only thing I'm losing out in resolution, and again, I don't need it. You know, Legend says, but ain't nobody following those Game Pass games while streamed. Huh? But ain't nobody following those Game Pass games while streamed? I don't know what that means exactly. Bond says, the unemployment benefits is the money they will use to buy the new consoles. Well, you only get $300 now in the U.S., I think. And I think it was like, and then the state can give you $100 more or something, or match it. Or I was like, whatever. They were getting paid though. They went $600 every 2 weeks. I was like, damn. No, $600 a week. I was like, yo, that's almost what I make. What the, huh? And y'all not working? You know, they making more than what they were making, working. And then Trump was like, oh yeah, we gotta cut that. No, y'all making too much money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, shoot, I wish I didn't have it. No, I'm just playing. I'll never wish that I don't have a job. Come on, son. As much as I do not enjoy my job, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. He's like, oh. Aaron Greenberg, you need to stay in the shadows, because every time you come out, some bad stuff happens. So stop playing. The 600 was for 16 weeks. Yeah, man, that's a lot of money, man. 600 a week for 16 weeks. How much is that? That's like, what is that? $29,000. I can't do math. The 600, 636, 30. 9,600. I did it already. $9,600, almost $10,000, man. Shoot. Thank you, Bonds. I figured it out. You know what would have been dope? You know what would have been kind of one of the clinchers? If the standard PlayStation DualSense would have had the paddles on the back built in. They would have been like, yo, check it. Our standard controller is as good as the freaking Elite on the Xbox. That would have killed it right there. And I was like, they're not showing the back. Do they got paddles on there? Are they? Oh, ooh. You know what I mean? That's what I thought, but I was like, no, they too scared. The controller would have cost $150, $100. That's what. Wait, what? Huh? Dust said, it's my opinion, but Demons on everything else, graphically and performance-wise, from what he have seen so far. So I'm pretty sure I believe in devs gushing over PS5. This is just the start, says Wushu. Shinobi. Yeah, Demon's Souls looks good. But, I mean, you got to remember the studio that made it, their games... You know, Shadow of the Colossus, that was a really good remake. You look at the old one versus the new one, Blue Point is on point. I think Noah would be so crazy. Does Sony own Blue Point? I don't think they do they? I was going to say, if Sony doesn't own Blue Point, I think they do, though. Because I think I saw I was going to say, if Microsoft scoops up Blue Point onto Sony, that would be hilarious. And then he goes and makes Voodoo Vince remake. I'll be like, Phil, what are you doing? Referring to that's all you need is Game Pass to stream on Twitch. Oh, you're talking about, no, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no. I'm talking about me specifically, or people who are streamers already who have the PCs and all the setup. Just need to buy the console and Game Pass. So yeah, I know what you're saying. I know it's not just like, oh, I'm new to gaming and I'm gonna get the box and stream from my Xbox. Like, oh, hold on, nah, you're not gonna do that. But like what I'm saying is like streamers who have the setup, just get the Xbox, and it's a good streaming box for Game Pass games for streamers, not for somebody trying to stream off the Xbox. No, I don't even do that. Like when I play my Xbox One X, I don't stream from that. I just play. I don't do that. I always stream on my computer. Bond says, then each person will receive their state's unemployment. I don't. Well, each state is different, so I don't know. I don't know if every state is doing that thing. Yeah, see? Yes, PS5 pre-orders were a mess, and you can't find them anywhere. But let me tell you why that's genius. See, they're trying to spin everything as, oh, Sony's so smart, they're geniuses and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I can see how you can... I can see why you would say that. But a lot of the rhetoric that has been coming out of what had happened is not that. I've seen that like twice. That whole, oh, this is why they're so smart. Everything else is like, this is bullshit. I can't get my PlayStation 5. This is a ridiculous. If they were genius, they wouldn't have to apologize. That's the thing. So those are far and few between. But this PlayStation cultist says that Game Pass is for poor people and that he's rich, yet he contradicts himself when he complains to certain developers about not getting free upgrades. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, wow. That's funny. Anyway, yeah, that's it. All right, I'm done. Freaking 3 hours later, I'm sweating my balls off. I appreciate you guys hanging out, most definitely, with me. What's going on back here? Oh, it's the pillow. It's the pillow. Happy play. Yeah. Remember, I still got stuff over here. Legend, you keep talking to me. The Good Guys was free on PSN last month, and it's taking the world by storm. I don't see any Game Pass games taking the world by storm. The Good Guys. Oh, you're talking about Fall Guys. Fall Guys, yeah. Yeah, Fall Guys. Yeah, I think it fell off now. I mean, people are still playing it, but there was a surge because it's free, and that happened with Rocket League too. But I think it's fallen off substantially since then. Yeah. So, but yeah. But I appreciate you, Legend, hanging out, talking the talk with me. Definitely appreciate it. Bonds, I appreciate you. And Twitch. Opti, appreciate you. Pace, I appreciate you most definitely. Sub-Z, appreciate. Kajudo, appreciate you as well. Appreciate you as well. Okay, there's nobody on Facebook. On, what the frick is it called? YouTube. Nobody on Twitter. Okay, bye. I mean Twitter. YouTube. Bye. Bye, YouTube. And who is over here? Nobody on. Oh, there's some people. DC Nate. And. Let's see who's in chat. Binary 667. DC Nate, Derek H. GK128. Havoc 978. A Jude. Killisis, Matt Bradford, Shadow Next Gen, Sub-Z, Tiger Claw, and Warham, and Zappy. Preach Zappy. Good show. Keep it going. I appreciate you. Keep it going. You mean now keep it going, or keep it going like next week? Because I can't. I'm dehydrated. I'm sweating. And I do want to cool off, and I gotta go inside, and because Bridget is tripping. She's been freaking out because her parents don't have a cell phone, which is weird. They used to have like a little Go phone, but something happened and their phone got sold to another company. And so they don't have a phone. They're coming home from Canada. Today's her dad's birthday. There's a whole bunch of things. And I'm like, she's worried. And I'm like, yeah. But they're probably just trying to come on through real quick so they can get home and pet the cows. So it's all good. But yeah, we'll talk more about PlayStation and Xbox and next gen and stuff next week. Maybe I'll talk more about the Monkey King game from that Chinese studio. I forgot what it was called. I mean, I think I talked about it a little bit, but I didn't really go into it. There's a lot of good games that are coming. Now, regardless of where you lean your affiliation, if you will, there's a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff that's coming up, and not just like, oh, God of War 2 and Horizon, Forbidden West and stuff. Yeah, those are like, okay, those should be good. But there's also the games that are unknown, the mysteries, if you will. Like The Initiative. What the heck are they making, right? I mean, that's years out. But still, you're like, oh. And like Fable. Okay, what? Like, we know Playground Games makes a game. They make a good game. Like, Forza Horizon has been lit ever since they started. They haven't made a bad one. The first one was the worst one. But everyone keeps getting better. Keep it going next week. Of course, legend. Come back here. I'll be here. But the future is bright. So, generally speaking, I know we nitpick about this and that and the third, but overall, it's exciting. And the main thing is, and I think Xbox started this, is really about choice. And Sony is adopting that as well. And so I'm glad that when one company makes a good move and Sony or Microsoft, they see the public responding to it, then they say, oh, maybe we should do that too. And it benefits us. So bottom line, that's a good look, and it's good for us. So it's good. And also, last thing, Mandalorian season 2. Oh my gosh, that trailer's bonkers. Maybe I'll do that next week. And I'm also writing a song for that, so I got to start working on that some more, because October 30th is the deadline for that. So I got to finish the song and then do a video. And then I have a Halloween song that I'm working on that I was working on before. So I got a lot of stuff happening. And this month is going to be a little bit hectic for me because I'm trying to push out 2 videos, music videos. So that's going to be dope. But yeah, appreciate you guys once again. Be safe, and let's play some music out of here. Where's the music going? Let's the music. Whoa. No. There we go. All right, y'all. Appreciate it. This one is Ancient Ruins from Fire with Fire. Old game I did. Just wait.